Hello, everybody, and welcome to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will. I'm a D&D sex icon, and we're back today for another episode of Kult, Divinity Lost. We're back with the forecasting crew today to head into our actual first episode and play with some of the terrible people that we've made as characters. So let's go around and remind ourselves of who we are and who we're going to be playing tonight. So let's start with Charlie. How's it going today?
It's going good. I'm playing Ms. Jolene Magnolia, the doll. And I'm very excited. I have her coconut that will one day become a tree if her dreams become true. So, me and coconut are going a long way, baby.
Wow. It's dedication. I hope each week we get to see the coconut grow in sort of progress updates. I'd like that. Fantastic. Well, we have Lindy with us tonight. Lindy, how's it going?
I'm doing pretty spiffy. I am excited to be here. I am ready to play the lovely Cassandra Suzanne Price, but everyone calls her Cassie Sue or Cassie Ann. You know, just happy and excited to be here as a very positive individual with the best outlook on life.
Fantastic. And we, of course, have Tom with us today. Tom, how's it going, my friend?
It is very, very hot, and I'm melting. I'm melting like the witch from The Wizard of Oz. But yeah, apart from that, pretty good, pretty good. I'm really excited to get to play some Kult. I will be playing Thomas, not to confuse you with me, of the Fallen. Yeah, I'm just excited to get into it.
Fantastic. And of course, we have Pruitt with us today. Pruitt, how's it going, my friend?
It's going great, Will. I'm really excited to get this game started. I, too, will have a coconut, but I will only do it to provide sound effects if anybody gets on a horse, a la Monty Python. So that's the best I can do. But I'm a team player, and I'm ready to do it because I will be playing Percival Randolph Stewart III, the boyfriend of Cassie Sue. We travel around, going to various auctions and things, and we look for very important items. So hopefully we'll find something interesting on this very episode.
Absolutely. And last but not least, we have Sam Paintergram with us tonight. How's it going, my friend?
I'm doing all right, Looking forward to steal some coconuts with Vincent Elsebeck, the criminal. Interestingly enough, he's not the nastiest person on this group, so that's kind of weird.
He's committed the most crimes, but not the worst crimes.
Yeah.
So that's an important distinction right there. They're not cumulative. So fantastic. That is our band of cultists today, my friends, because of course we're going to be playing Kult Divinity Lost. It's a RPG which is all about the horror, modern horror, and we're going to show you today a little bit about some of the scariest things that you can do in cults to these wonderful people here. So if you haven't checked it out, we are of course sponsored by Kult Divinity Lost. You can go over to their website, which is cultdivinitylost.com, but you can check it out on modifius.net as well. Just type in Kult and take a look. We'll be giving away some books over the course of the show as well, so stay around for that as well. What else? Of course, we're sponsored today by fancygrounds.com, our virtual tabletop of choice. If you haven't gone and checked it out, go ahead and do so. They've got a Fancy Grounds Unity Kickstarter right now. Last time I looked, it was like something ridiculous, over $250,000. So I don't know what it's at right now, but it's probably killing it. So I think it's a couple of weeks left on that still. Get in there, so well, you can, basically. What else? WhalerGames.co.uk is a go-to destination for tabletop war games, board games, and more, up to 20% off the retail value. Last but not least, when you retweet this tweet, we give away a set of dice to you guys in chat who hit 20 retweets. Looks like we're on 15 at the moment, so go ahead and get retweeting. We'll give away a set of dice to you guys. And of course, you can donate to a further game as well by giving players now 1s, now 20s, wild magic surges, and more. Thank you to Moondog for cheering just there. Some of these people are good, some of them are bad. So give them what you see fit, my friends. Maybe some wild magic for them. Could be good, could be bad. Maybe give some monsters to me. I will certainly be using them. But let's get into our session proper today. Last week we had our session 0 where we learned a bit more about the characters. If you haven't gone and watched or listened to that, go ahead and do so because you'll get a good idea of what these characters are like. But let's just start with brief sort of reintroductions about your character, and you can tell us about your aims, which are the sort of two sort of character quests, let's call them, that you start off the game with. So sort of the things that you want to achieve, and you get XP for them in the session if you've completed them. And then if you have any sort of roles that you need to do, I know a couple of us have some roles to do that may affect the gameplay, then we'll get to those as well before jumping right in. So Charlie, remind us a little bit of Jolene and what are her aims and any roles she might need to make.
So my name's Jolene, and I recently started a YouTube channel that I'm very happy to see there's been a good spate of growth. If you're not subscribed, click the button below and ding the bell. Very important, I'm told these days. And preferably don't tell my husband where I am. We're not getting along the best these days. And yeah, Jolene is living in this motel in the middle of Indiana somewhere. She's slowly making her way across country. Away from her husband is the general direction of travel. Mm-hmm. And she's staying in this hotel, or motel rather, at the moment, where she's growing her coconut in a bucket of water. And the receptionist's name is Donna, and Donna's her new best friend. And she loves her dearly, and they've been spending a lot of time gossiping, talking about their lives. Only Jolene has been lying a lot because Jolene doesn't want to talk about her life. So today she has the task of revealing the truth to Donna. And there's another small problem. The money that she stole from her husband that she's been living on is slowly running out. So her other goal today is to obtain some more money to live off of. Those are my two goals. Okay. And we need to resolve my stalker role.
Yay! So you have a stalker. What's the role at the beginning here?
The book says, you are hunted by a faceless enemy. Anyone you meet could be one of their minions, or even the stalker themselves. No one can be trusted. You must constantly change your address and be vigilant at all times to avoid leaving any tracks they can follow. In the first game session, and whenever you expose your current location, roll +0. This is page 101 for anyone who has the book. Or the PDF. 1, 2, 10, +0. That's a 7. That's not so good.
That's not good at all.
At all.
So 15 plus would have been you are safer now. 10 to 14 would have been your enemies are onto you. The GM takes 1 hold. But 9 and under is your enemies have caught up to you. The GM takes 3 hold. And I can spend hold to make a move for your pursuers. For example, a trusted associate has been paid off, and one of your loved ones or allies disappears. Something you are trying to do is undermined by your enemies, while they are actively trying to hurt you. Well, that's an auspicious start to the game. I'll increase my hold to 4 as we start today's session.
And people may remember at the end of the last session, we did a roll for her object of desire, and we know that one person is about to become desirous. So that'd be fun too. Yep,
fantastic. Let's head over to Lindy and Cassandra. So, Cassandra, remind us a bit about yourself and any aims and stuff you're up to.
Well, Cassandra is an occultist, but her day job is antiques dealer. Estate sale procurer. She, travels around with her boyfriend, Percy. They, acquire items of occult interest, undervaluing them at certain places, buying them off people's families' hands because they'll never sell it otherwise. That kind of thing. I believe her task for today was to complete a task for the Inheritor, which may or may not be the being she has a pact with dark forces with. Can neither confirm nor deny that. And I've got to roll for haunted, because that's one of my disadvantages.
Oh, cool. What page is that on?
It's on page 98. It's the bottom left-hand
98. Corner. Beautiful.
You are haunted by supernatural forces. With the GM's assistance to determine the nature of what you believe is haunting you. Will's got the... Yep. In the first session, whenever you're distracted or weakened, roll +0 to see if the entity gains power over you. So let's Let's just do a little roll here.
Do that.
12.
12. Okay.
Not bad.
So on a 15 plus, the entity leaves you alone. 10 to 14, I take 1 hold, and less than 9 or 9 and under is I take 3 holds. So I take 1 hold, and closing the audience, I can spend hold to make a move for the entity. For example, it might request service from you, threatens retribution if you refuse, and it possesses your body for the night, or the entity reveals a clue of what it is and what it wants from you. Interesting. So I have an extra bit of hold. Whew. It's very exciting. I'm holding so many things right now. Tom, let's remind ourselves about Tom and his aims and any rolls you might need to make.
Thomas is what people would normally call as a hobo. He wanders around, changing city to city, just going around, making friends, just living as much as he can. There is a reason for this. He is plagued by nightmares, which mysteriously, as he moves on, get less and less. If he stays in one place for too long, the nightmares get so intense that he can't sleep, and then he is forced to move on. So he has just, that has happened, and he has just moved on from his previous location, and he has arrived wherever the next location will be. And his main objective today is to find someone that, well, one objective would be to find something to help him sleep with these dreams, and 2, to find a meaning behind these dreams as well.
Interesting. And is there any rolls that you need to make, or are you all set?
No, I'm all set. I'm lucky enough. I don't have elves or stalkers or anything like that. I'm quite lucky. For now.
As far as you know, I've got all this hold. Anything could happen. Fantastic. Percy, remind us about who you are and your aims and any rolls you need to make this start.
Like I said, Percy, he started in estate sales, things of that nature. Now, like the good Cassian explained, we travel around to different estate sales, auctions, things like that, looking for anything and everything, because all the most valuable items usually get forgotten about in a box somewhere and then sold off without any knowledge of what they're doing. So that is what we do. And to that aim, whatever town we're in, Percy has heard that there is kind of a need-to-know basis auction. And so he has heard that there is one in this town, and it is coming up very soon. And so his whole purpose is trying to find out where this auction is occurring, and the means to gain admittance to said auction to, again, further the work, which is finding these occult artifacts. So that's pretty much that. The only role I have is I have the advantage bound, which is I am bound to an extra dimensional entity, and at the start of each session, I need to roll plus soul to see what I may do to call upon that entity this session. Depending on the roll, some of the options are like see the true form of a creature or location, disperse magic targeting you, or actually call upon the entity. So if I get a 15 or plus, I can do 3 of those at some point during this session.
Ooh.
So my roll, so that's 2d10, and my soul is a +3.
That's good.
So that is going to be a 9. So 9 or less. I may choose one option at any time during the session, but the GM makes a move for the entity at some point during that session.
Ooh.
So I can call upon my entity once today.
Yeah.
But of course, because he does not actually know, due to his repressed memories, that he is bound to said entity, he just believes that it is some kind of power within himself. That, like, it's just his own power that he is using. So
the force of his character.
Yeah, I mean, look at me, really.
Fantastic. All right, and let's head over to Sam and Vincent. Remind ourselves a little bit about yourself, and of course, your aims and any roles you need to make here, Vincent.
Well, Vincent has been a criminal most of his life, and he recently has really been broken because he had witnessed a bit of the true nature of reality. So right now he's kind of obsessed with the wrong end of that, but he wants to be strangely on the good side of the karmic wheel. His aims for today's session is stealing or gaining some sort of knowledge on the occult and exposing it. He's also looking forward to today because the horoscope said that Scorpio today gets to meet some interesting individuals.
Fantastic. All right then. So that is exciting. And any rolls that Vincent needs to make for the start here?
No, you just
That's
have to
good.
roll my bad reputation anytime you want, and the greedy stuff as well.
Yeah, cool. Okay. So we've got a very interesting start here for our characters. Plenty of hole for me to start with, plenty of moves to mess you around with as well. So any questions before we get started here? Else I'm super ready to like and subscribe to Jolene's YouTube channel. Alrighty, let's jump into it. And let us actually begin. I want to start with Tom. Here.
Okay.
Tom, you've rolled into a new city. You can decide whichever city it is. If you're working up from the West Coast, maybe. I don't know. Maybe you've ended up in Seattle. Maybe you headed over the East Coast and you're over in Atlanta. I don't know. It doesn't actually matter too much because the dreams have been getting worse and worse. And wherever you are, you've fallen asleep, and the dream is back again. And it's quite horrific and disturbing. Images fly before you of what seems to be somewhere high in the sky, and you are falling, and you can feel yourself falling. And you're a smoking ruin. You're on fire. You look across your hands, and they're burning. And the fire spreads to the rest of your body as you're falling through the sky, closer and closer to the earth. And the flames continue down your arms until the rest of your body. There are no clothes anymore. Everything is burning, and yet you're not fully dying. Even as the flames reach your head, burn away your hair. And at the moments of collision, you wake up, breathless, in the middle of the night, some street corner that you've just gotten to and fallen asleep in. It's a miserable evening in the city, and there's things couldn't really get much worse for you after that nightmare. You also feel that the rain begins to settle in till the late night, and you realize that you need to find some cover, because where you've fallen asleep isn't going to get you through the amount of rain it's falling.
Okay, so he wakes up, and he probably feels rather warm and hot. His adrenaline is pumping through his body. His heart was going a mile a minute, so he will take a brief moment to actually savor the coolness of the rain hitting him, and it isn't before the coolness that has eased his body is now actually becoming quite troublesome. So he's going to get up. He's gonna grab the little kind of knapsack he's got with all just anything and everything he's got. He puts it over his shoulder. Is there anything around that would give cover, like a full bus shelter, maybe an alleyway that's covered, or anything that I can see?
Not on this street that you can see, but it leads further on. You think when you got here that you saw a bus station not too far from here, which would probably have a shelter for you.
Okay, in that he's then going to head towards the bus station then, from what he remembers. Yeah, just head straight there.
Absolutely. You head along the streets it's cold and wet, and whatever you're wearing doesn't feel like it's going to keep you warm enough here. And as you're thinking about where you might be able to get a warmer coat and maybe some food as well, you see the bus shelter ahead. There appears to be someone under the bus shelter as well. Someone is standing out in the rain. Strangely, they're not going in to the bus shelter. They're outside of it, out in the rain. You can make out their silhouettes through the darkness. It appears to be a tall man or woman you can't see, but they're a tall person.
Okay. He is going to approach and just head into the bus shelter. His primary concern at the moment is getting somewhere dry, so he's going to kind of ignore the person to start off with and just get into the bus shelter and get himself a more comfortable position, a dry position.
The person doesn't move when you walk past them, and as you sort of shoot a glance their way, you can barely make out their face. So what you do see is steep, angular features, and they don't seem to even notice the amount of rain as it comes down heavily now. You're in the shelter and you can see the person, and they haven't moved seemingly at all.
He's gonna tilt his head to the side and look him up and down, and do you not want to come into the shelter?
Again, the person doesn't seem to respond to your voice as they're looking out into the rain, which gets heavier and heavier.
I do have an ability called Sixth Sense, which kind of gives me a heads up for any danger or good and evil around in the current situation. Could I possibly use that to get for the general situation, I suppose?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh dear, that's an 8. Oh dear.
It's you don't feel danger, but what you do feel is power. A strange sort of power around this person. It's difficult to really put your finger on, but something feels very strange about this whole situation. Maybe it's just because you woke up from that dream and you're feeling strange. Maybe it's something else.
He'll eye the person. Is this a very uncomfortable feeling for him, as in he wants to leave this area?
Well, it's warm and and dry, and that's a big plus. The person could just be very drunk or high. That's something that would probably strike you. They could just be off their face.
In that case, Thomas is gonna just shrug his shoulders. He's gonna head over to his rucksack and open it up, and he's gonna take off he's probably got quite a heavy coat and kind of bring out something a bit dry. It's still damp, what was ever in there, probably like a blanket or whatever he could to wrap around him, and he puts the coat on to dry off a little, and he's just gonna get down and kind of just wait, really. I don't think he's going to be sleeping tonight. He's going to wait for the morning and the rain to subside.
Yeah. You huddle down in the shelter, keeping a wary eye on the person outside who still is yet to move. And then you hear a voice, not coming from the person, but coming from a side alley. And you see what looks to be a little girl and her mother coming out of the alley. Not far from the bus shelter, you can see them, they're maybe 20 feet away. The little girl has a shock of white hair, and her mother, who also strikes you as someone that is homeless, she sort of struggles along behind the daughter. The daughter looks at you and the person at the bus stop. She points and she says, Mommy, there are monsters over there. And her mother begins to pull her along, paying her no mind. But the little girl is staring at you and the person at the bus stop.
Thomas will smile back and give a friendly wave. And as she says that he looks behind to see if he can see anything. Looks somewhat confused. But primarily just friendly to the girl. It's a girl, could be homeless. He's heard worse things. He's been called worse things. He's probably gonna keep an eye on them because they're more entertaining than the figure literally just directly next to me. So he's just gonna keep an eye on where they go.
Yeah. The girl and her mother disappear into an alley, though she keeps looking over her shoulder back towards the two of you, seemingly very scared and concerned. She keeps pulling on her mum's arm, though her mother is too sort of absent to really pay her any attention. And again, the figure still hasn't moved, but it's getting late now. You've maybe been sitting there for an hour, and it's warm. You're away from the rain, which almost seems sort of settling. Listening to the rain falling, especially if you're not in it, can be quite peaceful. And you begin to think of sleep again.
He's gonna look to the person who's literally just standing there, tilt his head. Are you sure you don't want to come under? It's awfully warm.
The figure turns towards you as though it's heard you for the first time. You still can't really make out the face, though you suspect there may be feminine features there. Though again, wearing a heavy sort of coat, and it's difficult to make out, especially in this light. The figure doesn't say anything, but seems to be staring right at you, or seems like it's staring right through you. Takes a step forwards.
Thomas kind of smiles and gives a friendly wave. Hello. I'm Thomas.
The figure
Come.
takes another step forwards. Maybe 10 feet from you now.
Thomas is going to get up. It's kind of an instinct that he's learnt from all his travels. Fight or flight is easy to do when you're standing up. And he's got his hand on his rucksack to take his belongings if need to run. And he tilts his head and goes, Are you all right? Do you need a hand?
Steps closer, and now you can begin to make out her face. It's definitely a woman standing before you. She's got dark hair. She looks concerned, green eyes. She looks like she's been crying for a very long time. Though you still can't make out the sort of bottom of her face seems to drop away into her dark clothing and overall. But she looks like she's crying.
Are you okay? Is someone upset you?
Takes another step forwards, and closer now you can see that the woman is crying, and she seems to be trying to speak to you as well, sort of.
Thomas is gonna. So there's something over her mouth, like the coat zipped up all the way up. Is it?
Seems like it, yeah.
He's gonna unzip it. He's gonna try to unzip the coat.
Yeah, you pull the zip down from the coat to try and help her. But you realize that something is wrong when you do. It's not the material over her mouth which is preventing her from speaking, but it is as though her mouth has been sewn shut. And with horror, you realize that there's a flap of skin over her mouth which is preventing her from speaking. And as she and cries, you wake up. There's someone standing over you, and he looks to be quite friendly. It's a man in a grey leather suit, in his mid-30s, with a slight, sympathetic, but slightly put on forced smiles, clearly putting up with the smell of the surroundings. Excuse me there, sir. Are you okay?
Thomas is going to touch his mouth and. What? What? Oh, yes, I'm fine.
I just found you asleep at this bus stop, and well, I thought I should check in on you. I'm a social worker. My name is Damien. And he extends a hand.
Oh, Thomas will get up and he'll kind of take the hand, but the way he does it, he extends his arm so lengthwise, full length, so he even steps back, so when he's shaking, it's like that. And he, nice to meet you. Sorry, I look to get out of the rain. And he starts picking up the things.
That's quite fine. I understand the bus shelters are a good way to stay in from the rain, especially when it's been so wet. Are you okay? Can I get you some food, some water?
Some food will be nice. Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Of course. Let me take you to the coffee shop here, and we'll get something. They know me there, so it'll be fine.
Brilliant. And he'll
notice
go with
his English accent as well when you speak with him, which sounds off whichever city you're in at the moment.
Yeah.
Stops in at a coffee shop, and you're embraced by the warm sounds and scents of the cafe. It's a bubbling and lively place. You're maybe usually not allowed in here, or at the very least you stop in quickly and pick up a coffee when someone's kind. But Damien sits you down across the table, orders you a coffee and some food, and looks again at you quite sympathetically. So, what did you say your name was?
Oh, it's Thomas.
Thomas. Oh, of course, yes. Let me see here. He goes onto his phone and starts scrolling through a list on an email and says, yes, well, you're in our system, actually, Thomas. You must have run into another social worker somewhere along the road, is that right?
Yeah, I think so. A few cities back. Something along there, yeah. I think her name was Emily.
That's good. I'm something of a welcoming party to the city. I make sure that everyone's okay, and try and get you into the system as soon as possible. It's tough out there in the city, and I want to make sure that you're okay. So any support that I could give you, I'm here to help. And I'm not saying the system's easy or perfect, but we can do something. Do you think, Thomas, we could start with a relative or a contact that we could make for emergencies?
I don't have a relative or family. I have Mr.
Surely
Fibbles, but that's it.
Surely there's someone, an old friend or a family member, even if relations there aren't good. Someone I could write down. It's really the first step in this process. If I can't get this, it's going to be difficult moving forwards.
And he kind of rubs his head as if thinking physically hurts him. And he, I get the name Jolene, but that's it.
Jolene, that's a start. Do you know her last name?
No.
No? Okay. A number or an address that we could contact? Like I say, it would really help us get this whole process started. I don't want you sleeping under a bus shelter another day, but it's going to be hard for me to push for you.
I don't mind sleeping under. You meet so many nice people.
Oh, yes, of course. Of course you do, but, well, there are other things we can help you with as well, Thomas, aside from accommodation, not just food and drink, but
Yes.
also...
I have a few things I need help with.
Yes, what,
Right.
like what?
Well, you wouldn't happen to have any, like, drugs to help me sleep, would you?
Prescription drugs, well, that could be arranged as well, Thomas. Of course, yes. If you have a existing medical condition, then we can make sure that that happens. This is why the support system is here for you. But this Jolene, I'm afraid you won't believe the bureaucracy of this whole system, the amount of paperwork involved. I just need a check mark. So a last name for this Jolene, or an address or contact number would be beyond fantastic. And then we can get you your sleeping drugs. Even an old address would be fine. Somewhere you remember me.
And he'll kind of strain and put address. That is the old foster home. But he doesn't know where that address has come from. He just says it. And like as if he's never said anything before he goes back to his coffee.
This is incredibly helpful, Thomas, and a fantastic start to this whole process. It really is.
Is there another thing you could help me? Do you know anyone who knows anything about dreams?
He leans in for a moment. What kind of dreams, Thomas?
Bad ones. You know, the ones that stop you from sleeping.
Oh, well, those aren't dreams, Thomas. Those are nightmares.
Yes, I remember someone telling me that, yes. Nightmares.
Well, there are monsters everywhere, both outside and within our own minds. Yes, I could try and help you with that. Try and help you with the dreams. Get rid of them, or at least make them a little bit better. But I'm going to need some more questions from you, a few more answers, if you don't mind, and then we can move on with this this whole process. You see, a quick psychiatric evaluation is one that I have to have just to push it through the system. So tell me a bit more about these dreams. What happens in them? What do you see?
I don't like to think about it.
Well, none of us like to think of our nightmares, but they're things we have to face sometimes.
I'm falling really, really fast. Really fast. And then I'm on fire. And then I hit. And then I wake up. And that's just one dream. There's another where there's this voice. And when the voice speaks, I don't understand it, but every time it speaks, it hurts like thousands upon thousands of like sharp little things going in your head. And then a kind of burning sensation, and like someone's ripping your spine out of your back. And then that's all I remember. They change.
Quite graphic.
So those drugs.
Of course, yes. It certainly isn't helping. We'll get that sorted. This voice, what does it sound like? Like
Pain.
A man's voice, a woman's voice?
No, pain. It's indescribable. It's just pain.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to help me understand you a bit more, Thomas, and so I can familiarize myself with you for the case file. We're going to get everything sorted as soon as possible. And I should say as well that as part of our new scheme to help those less advantaged, let us say, than others here in society, that there are several events that you are allowed to attend, that you are invited to, in fact. For instance, our weekly support groups, our the AA meetings, and also religious and faith center meetings on the weekend as well. But maybe some of that might interest you. But there is also something here in the city, in fact, that might give you a taste of a better life, a taste of what it can be like here in the city. There's a new club here in town called Babylon. It's opening tonight, and Miss Tiffany Reeder, a prominent celebrity and model here, is opening it to the elite of the world, but she's been kind enough to invite a few less privileged people to the opening night, and she would love for you to attend.
Wait,
There would be
I
food
can,
and yes.
I can go into the building with lots of lights with big guys at the front. Go, no, you can't come in because you stink. I can go into one of
Absolutely.
those.
Yes, oh yes, it's exclusive foods, dancers, VIPs with unknown secrets. It's the single most exclusive event of the year, and you're lucky enough to have received an invitation.
She
How
knows
does that
me?
sound? Well, you're on the list.
Oh,
It's
I see. I'm
all
on.
part of
I'm
the system.
on like big list. Okay.
That's right.
I get to meet people, and there's food and drink and games and music and dancing and all that.
Absolutely. Yes, all of those things and more.
Okay. Yeah. I'll go. Where is
If
it? When is
you're
it?
lucky, I hear there's someone that reads futures that's meant to attend the party as well. So perhaps she can help you with your dreams.
Yes. Indeed. Oh, you are so thank you. Thank you. And he extends his hand out like that, like right into his face. Like, "Yeah, thank you. You are great."
He takes it and hands you a sort of lanyard with VIP on it, which seems to be sort of actually engraved in gold. It's not like a plastic bit of card. It's just sort of almost like a medallion or talisman around your neck, and that will get you into the party. I do so love it when our dreams are answered. It's fantastic seeing the joy in your eyes, but the worst thing I find about nightmares is that when they start off as good dreams and then turn nasty. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I've never had a good dream. I've only had nightmares.
Well, that's because if a good dream starts, it often turns out to be a nightmare. And you forget the good parts. And just remember the bad, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. That's why I don't like sleeping. That's why I like being awake and experiencing things, you know? Because out here, I'm away from the dreams.
Yes. Safe here. Away from the dreams.
Yeah.
And you notice that around Damien, the people in the coffee shop seem to be moving sort of in the peripheral of your vision. And they seem to be moving closer towards you. And you realize quickly that you're sort of surrounded by the group of people in the coffee shop that are giving you this dead-eyed stare. And Damien is giving you that same stare. And they're moving closer towards you. And someone will grab you. You realize that you're surrounded by a press of about 20 people while Damien sits. And go ahead.
No, thank you. And try and get him off.
One of them punches you in the guts and you're winded. The other two grab your arms, some of them pin down your legs. And Damien gets a knife. It's like a sharp cutting bread knife. And he goes to your mouth and in with a dagger starts sawing away your tongue as this shot of pain. Yeah.
Can I say at this very moment, can I use my inner power?
Yeah.
Alright, inner power is, I need to, let me just quickly look it up. It's in the soul, I believe. Where is it? Sorry.
Page 113.
113? I'm close.
Or 114. Sorry.
So, here we go. So, I harbor a mysterious power which you do not fully understand. The power can protect you, but you have no control over it. So, I'm going to do that to everyone around me.
Is that a move?
That is a I don't know.
Or is
it kind of depends.
It's an advantage.
It's an advantage. Yeah. So I suppose it's like a last minute I'm screwed kind of thing. You know.
Roll a wild magic surge for Homely, and this can be see what intervention happens here. Because that sounds more like a passive. You are protected.
8, 6, 9, 8.
Alrighty. So. This is fantastic. All within 50 yards disarm themselves and race to a nearby river. So as he goes in for your tongue with the serrated blade, you can feel it soaring through your tongue as your tongue touches the metal, and you feel the sort of irony tang of your own blood and the blade. And then Damien stops. Your hands burst into fire, and he looks shocked for a second, as do the others around. And Damien says he must not remember. And at that point, you fall through the floor. And now you're falling through the clouds, and your hands are burning. And now your arms are burning. And Damien and a coffee shop disappear above you. The flames spread to the rest of your body, up to your head, burning away what hair is left. And just before impact is made, you wake up. You're at the alley, you never made it to the bus shelter. It's morning now, and there's a lanyard around your neck, which you remember. The dream is foggy. You don't remember which parts are real exactly.
Is my tongue okay?
You feel your tongue. There's a taste of blood in there, but your tongue hasn't been injured.
Is there an address on the lanyard?
There is.
And he's gonna put the knapsack over his shoulder, and he's gonna have a look, and he's gonna head off and find the address.
All right. Now, Percy and Cassandra, you've just gotten into the city in order to meet with a interested buyer by the name of Marcus Valentine. He's a bit of a mogul for antiques, one of the biggest buyers in the area, and has personally invited you to appraise some of the new items which he has, and potentially buy some of the artifacts that you guys have procured one way or another. As you arrive at his estate here in the city, it's this sort of rich mansion with a long drive of pebbles running up to it. The architecture looks almost Gothic, like it's been here for a very, very long time. It's sort of old money, oozes of sort of old money. There's even an old sort of coach house here as well, through which it looks like hired help are coming out from, and horses are being led inside. As you stop your car, or van rather, outside of the estate, you see Marcus Valentine, who's wearing this straight white suit and hat. And he's in his 50s. He's got a sort of wolfish cunning to him, but he is all platitudes and handshakes when you arrive. As you stop and get out of the van, he says, "Oh, friends, come on in. It's so good to see you again. I hope you got some good bits for me today."
Of course, Mr. Valentine. And please disregard the RV as we pulled up. Like maybe there's like a backfire and some white smoke is puffing out of the RV.
Right.
But Percival keeps his composure. Yes, we have procured many things in our travels, and I am interested to see what you have, sir. Oh, here's my lovely girlfriend. Pardon me for not making introductions at the beginning. I'm a bit of a workaholic, as you can see, but the work is what keeps me going. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm sorry, Cassie Ann. This is Cassandra Price, my lovely assistant and partner.
Well, now I see what keeps you going. I am enchanted to meet you, Cassandra.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. Hear you're quite interested in antiques, and I certainly hope that we can interest you in some of our wares today, and perhaps do establish a working business relationship.
Well, I love starting relationships, especially long-term ones. Well, why don't you come inside? Let's take a look at some of the pieces I've found, and then we'll get to what you guys have got for me. And come on inside. And he almost jogs up the stairs, incredibly energetic, over-enthusiastic, you would say. And he brings you inside. You're brought some sweet tea, and they set it down on a table. Inside this large room that he brings you in are rich furnitures and rugs on the floor. It's very tasteful, sort of an old look. But also, most strikingly, in the center of the room is a statue which reaches about 10 feet up. The ceilings are incredibly high. And this statue is of an angel, a stone statue made of an angel, which is in a pose, sort of hiding its face. It's a woman's face beyond, which is also strikes you as a little interesting as well, because typically the angels you've seen, like cherubic ones, typically depict sort of men, boys as angels. So her wings as well look like they've been sort of chipped away. And that looks purposeful. It's not graffiti. It looks as though her wings have been almost like cut from her, or were falling out as she's in this sort of stance, holding her face. And Marcus grins as you guys are looking at it and says, "Well, this is the piece, I suppose, that I most wanted you to take a look at. It's from ancient Babylon. You've heard of that, right? That old place."
Oh, well, of course, the splintering of languages. He just kind of gets lost looking at this sculpture. And is it? Do you mind if I?
Please take a look.
And Percy will pick up this statue of an angel, and oh my, that's that right there. I could just weep. My good sir, what do you believe this piece is worth, if I might ask?
Well, I don't rightly know, to be honest. It's from an old dig site. They said there was a strange find, something I shouldn't have expected to find there, but they dug it up nonetheless, and I said bring it to me, and I'll get the best eyes in all the South to take a look at it for me and see what you think. See, things kind of strange as well. They say that there's stories around the statue, around this lady here, all sorts of ghost stories and the like. It's silly, I'm sure, but I swear sometimes she moves.
Oh,
yeah.
You don't say. Well, my dear Cassie, you should tell him about that story about. Tell him that story that you had about that one statue, and basically you can kind of tell Percy's like, just distract him for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's going to wait till Cassie kind of interposes herself between Percy and Mr. Valentine. And you just kind of see Percy just stare at the statue, and he pulls his hat back just a bit as he stares deep into the statue, looking beyond, looking beyond, looking beyond. And I'm going to do enhanced awareness.
Love it.
And you see, about 3 months back, we got this really interesting piece back into the shop.
Yeah.
It wasn't Babylonian, it was Egyptian, though, you know, way back. Just,
So it's going to be a 14. So basically, I get some basic impressions regarding this like location or thing. If there is like a weakness in the illusion, basically.
Yeah. For a second, when you're looking at it, Percy, you stare at the woman, and then for a second, you could swear her eyes shoot up and look at you. And then it breaks away and she's the statue again. But for a moment there, you saw something else.
Yes, Mr. Valentine, and he kind of blinks out, kind of a reddish hue out of his eyes. Yes, I do believe that your reports were correct. There is something about this that might interest both myself and my lovely Cassie Sue. Cassie, you might want to have a gander at this.
oh, it is quite an intriguing piece. You wouldn't mind if I take a couple steps closer, of course?
Please, feel free. I already have an interested buyer. You see, I just don't I don't know exactly what to pitch it for. I was thinking a couple mil. Who knows?
Oh well, of course. Before that, let's have a refill on this, and maybe let's put a little something in here. Maybe a little sweeter than tea, if you know what I'm saying, sir. And he'll just kind of lead Mr. Valentine over to. I'm sure there's a cart with some bottles of some very expensive looking liquor, and Percy will kind of get him to look away and move over there.
Yeah,
Cassie's
absolutely.
gonna pull her
He
glasses
follows you.
down, and pull her scarf down a little bit. Just kind of, she's gonna use her magical intuition to, look at see if this thing has got anything fancy to it. So look at its auras. Ooh, on a 15 plus. I get to choose up to 3 options. Up to 2 may be saved until later this scene. Does this have a magical nature? I get to learn if it has a magical nature.
It does, yes.
Oof. All right.
You sent the aura on it with power.
It is. I can learn something about a creature's true nature. Is this a creature or a statue?
It is a creature.
Okay. And learn where the illusion is
It's
weakest
very much alive. Yeah.
towards other dimensions.
Its weakness towards other dimensions. You get the sense from it that it's living somewhere else in another dimension, but it can it has a physical form here, but it has limited power to do anything here.
Interesting. Okay. Alrighty. So that's very enlightening. Does it seem dangerous? No. And it's like, no, malevolent perhaps?
I mean, it's a statue.
Okay. Alright. So she'll just...
Anything that has power has the potential to be dangerous in the wrong hands.
Of course. Oh, well. It's fine.
This could be a
so
sign from the inheritor, as far as you know. Though.
It could be. She's going to take a look at it very thoroughly, walk all around it. She's probably going to make some notes in her little appraisal book she's got here.
So Marcus says, well, you see, I was hoping that I got this interested buyer. Maybe you two could make the sale and take a commission. You see, I'm a very busy man. I can't exactly get myself all around the city. Perhaps while the two of you are here in the city, maybe you could help me out?
Oh, well, I would be honored. I mean, we are always looking for more business partners throughout the country. And dealing with antiques such as these, you just can't, run down to the local Walmart, if you know what I'm saying.
Right you are, sir. Well, my buyer is a Miss Tiffany Reader. She's, I'm to understand, some kind of celebrity. Said she was very interested in acquiring the piece, so that I should meet her tonight at this gala open night she's throwing for some kind of club. It's called Babylon, so I suppose she wants it for the club.
How fitting.
She's not exactly subtle, it seems, when it comes to the decor. But do you think the two of you, I've got a spare invitation, could head down there tonight and see what she has to say for herself?
Oh, I think we could definitely handle that, don't you, Percy?
Well, I mean, I suppose I could unpack my dancing shoes if that is the case here. I don't know if this town is quite ready for the show that we will put on, but yes, I think we could do this for a small commission.
Well, that sounds most reasonable then. He hands you over these two lanyards which have these golds in sort of engraved invitations on. And these should get you inside all right. It's somewhere here in the city, I believe. I'm afraid I have a meeting with another associate of mine, Mr. Magnolia, and he's not a man to be left waiting.
Well, I would not want to keep you. If only just to ask a simple question, you being from around here, and we've only been through it once or twice maybe, but I've heard tale that there's some kind of secret silent auction here about these pots. I would love to be able to try to get into said auction, if possible, but...
Well, I tell you what, why don't you stay behind here a minute? Mr. Magnolia's coming along, and well, he'll be the one that will decide.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, do you mind if my lovely lady here stays alongside us? He
looks Cassandra up and down. I suppose so. Mr. Magnolia will be along any minute now. Expecting him on the hour, and he knows more than I do about this auction you've spoken of. I think he might be able to help you out, but he doesn't do business of just anyone. He has to get to know you first, you understand?
Oh, well, by all means, I would not want to work with him if he wasn't so discerning.
Fantastic. And a servant knocks on the door and says that Mr. Magnolia is here, and Marcus says, "Oh, here we go, right on time. He's never late." And he swings open a door and heads outside to the courtyard where your van was and still is parked outside. And pulling up is this this long black car. And 4 men are inside. 3 of them step out, and you don't have to be a like a secret ops person to tell that these guys are carrying. All of them wear the same color suits. All of them have guns either hidden or quite clearly on display. They step out like they're a sort of unit, and they all look quite hardened and sort of not the types that you'd like to meet on a dark night. Mr. Magnolia steps out in a midnight blue suit and hat, takes off the hat, and as he steps out into the sun, and you can see a man who's had a nose which has been broken probably more than half a dozen times, to the point where his nose is so sort of distorted, and strange sort of leers to the side of his face. Its face itself is craggy and lined. He gets out a cigar, and you can tell that he's a habitual smoker, by the way he lights it and puts it in his mouth. He takes a look up at the architecture of the place, and then over to Marcus, and he says, Marcus, it's good to be back. Haven't seen this place in a long time. I see you brought me some friends. And Marcus says, well, of course. Please let me introduce you. This is Mr. Percival and his fantastic, lovely, enchanting girlfriend, Cassandra. And he stands there, extends a hand for you to come and get.
Oh, well, by all means, it is a fine day to meet you, sir, and I'll move up and give him a solid handshake. Not too aggressive, though. Let him retain the power.
It's good to meet you as well. And same goes for you, Enchanted. And he kisses your ring, I guess, your hand.
Pleasure to meet you.
And says, although I do believe we were meant to meet alone today, Mr. Valentine. Surprised to see extras here. I'm gonna have to get to know them a little bit first. And Marcus says, well, yes, they're very interested in certain things, and I think they can be trusted, sir. Isn't that right, Percy?
Oh, well, yes, sir. I do apologize. It was at my insistence because I'm a man that likes to travel around and find various auctions, things like that, for certain items I think that you probably are very interested in as well. So I think it could be a very lucrative business opportunity for us to get to know each other. As we're concluded some business here with Mr. Valentine, we're going to go try to get a sale done for him. But I'll be in town, and I'm always looking for those nice private silent auctions, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. That'll have to remain to be seen, Mr. Percival. Yeah, I don't do business just of anyone. The reason we're still talking here is because Marcus has vouched for you, but I've heard about you, Tiz. I don't know if I trust you yet. So yeah, you're going to Reader's party tonight, right, at Babylon?
I do believe that is the appointed time and place. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, when you're there, why don't you get me something?
Oh? You have my attention, sir.
Why don't you pick up a little something for me while the two of you are there? There's a gun. It's a gold-plated pistol. 1911, nice. Old. Special to me. Somewhere there. I know she's gathered it for the party. Part of the fucking decor, I guess. I want it back. It's mine. You understand?
So this would be, you're looking for an acquisition then?
I am. And if you get it to me, then, well, we'll have another conversation about that auction, and I'll also make sure you're good in the city with my fellas.
That is true. That would be marvelous. I would assume then that a measure of a secrecy, a subterfuge is maybe needed.
Discretion.
What do you say? Discretion. Yes.
Discretion in our business of acquisitions.
I guess some fucking discretion might be needed for this, but that's your fucking problem.
Oh, it's these are the problems that I like to handle.
Yeah. While you're there, while you're in the city, while you're fucking alive, if you meet a girl named Jolene, Magnolia, might be going under a different name. My boy will give you a picture, description of her. If you see her, you told me, or one of my boys, you understand?
Why, yes, sir. I mean, Cassie, we see a lot of people every day, don't we?
We certainly do. Wouldn't surprise us if she cropped up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, if you see her, you tell us, because she's mine. Okay?
Most definitely. I mean, there was that Jolene that came into the shop that one time. Was it not Cassie Sue? I don't know. It doesn't look like this one, though. But we will keep a lookout.
You do that. And you get me my prize. And we'll speak again.
Oh, don't you worry, sir. At the end of this, you will be the man with the golden gun for sure. Trust me.
All right, clever.
Well, I will.
All the
I
boys
think
will
maybe
get you a picture and a burner phone.
Oh, of
if you
course,
see her-
of course.
You call the one number in the phone. If the cops get you, you've never seen it before and we've never met.
I can't even recall your name at this point, sir. And he kind of gives him a very obtuse wink.
Okay?
Well, we will
Beyond
get
what
out of your hair, and that way you can conclude your business that you obviously have already a solid time for. So, Cassie Sue, why don't we just be on our way and let these gentlemen conclude their business, huh?
That sounds quite delightful. It was a pleasure meeting you all again.
All right. Get going. And Marcus says, why don't we go inside, Mr. Magnolia, and take a look at some of the pieces I've got on display. And the two of them head inside, and you guys head back to your van. Where would you like to go?
Dear, don't you think we should take this to like, I don't know, a gas station or auto zone? It's smoking pretty bad. Did you happen to change the oil when we were at the last stop?
Well, of course I did. Well, I'm going to do it at the next place, and don't you worry about that. None. I'll take care of the RV. I've had this thing for 10 years. I know how to handle it. All right.
I know you do, dear. I was just, I'm just not good with vehicles at all, and so I wanted to make sure I was correct about which maintenance on it how you've been performing lately. You're just so good with machines.
Yeah. Well, you were close enough, I guess. And then we'll head into town, and Percy would like to drive by this Babylon place, like try to find it just to scope it out on the way to breakfast.
We don't get lost. I have to ask for directions.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I just want
directions.
He never asked for directions.
I've never once asked for directions in my life. You know that,
You
huh?
never have. I know.
The only
You've never
directions I
asked
ask for is what's the direction to the bathroom. That's it.
It's all you need. It's all you need. I am glad we're scoping out the place so that we can find a good place to drop off have the statue dropped off if necessary. Not so we don't spend 2 hours looking for parking.
Would you see?
Yeah. I said that we can find a good place to park the van when we're dropping off the statue.
I asked you, what did you see, my dear?
Oh, what did I see?
When you looked
Sorry,
into its eyes.
Misheard you. Well,
It's okay.
definitely.
You don't have the best hearing. We know that.
It's true. But it's definitely a creature. It's not just an inanimate object. It's a magical. It's got a body here, but I don't believe it's currently possessing it. I think it's, behind the
Very
veil.
interesting.
Just popping. Could be dangerous. Could be exciting. Could be what we're looking for.
It very might well be.
Okay. So you guys are in a van. We'll get back to you in a bit. But let's head over to Vincent. Vincent, you're in a city in your apartment. What does your apartment look like?
Well, it's a small place. Now it's filled with rocks, magical rocks, as I presume. I got a old laptop that I used to get online from time to time. A big ass television, but not the flat screen one, but the older ones. A couch that has seen better days that usually serves as a bed, and a kitchen that has seen little, if not any use at all. because mostly of the stuff is takeout, which is right now in bags
Right.
all around. Yeah.
All around the house.
And I have a pet tarantula called Gabriel in a giant aquarium type.
Nice. Do you have any kind of phone, like maybe it's like a landline, one of those old rotary phones?
Oh, I have an old Blueberry telephone. Blackberry. Yeah.
Yeah. You got an old BlackBerry. Cool. So you're like sitting in your apartment. It's filthy, stones, crystals everywhere, and trash that needs to be taken out, and it's sort of settled into the room, and the room sort of smells of the low sense of food which has been left there for far too long. When your phone rings, and it's a withheld number, which is pretty much the only kind of calls that you get nowadays. It means it's work.
Well, hello there.
You hear a sort of gruff voice on the other line. Yeah. Have I got the guy here?
That depends on what is your definition of a guy.
Yeah. All right, fuckface. This is Magnolia. You know who I am.
Oh, God damn it, Mr. M! I told you do not call me to this line. People may be listening.
I don't give a shit who's listening to you. If they're listening, then you're already caught, and I'm not gonna tell you nothing which is gonna get me arrested. Understood? Now
Sure,
shut
Mr.
up.
M. Yeah.
So, I want you to head somewhere tonight. I want you to get in there. We're gonna get you the access inside the building. I want you to keep an eye on some people while you're there for me. Capiche? I want you
Yes, Mr.
to keep an eye on this fucking couple just showed up here in the city. I want eyes on them. They drive some kind of fucking van. They say that they're, I don't know, they sell shit, old artifacts and stuff.
Do they sell candy as well? If you know what I
Name
mean.
is... I don't fucking know, maybe. If they are on my streets, they're gonna get fucking killed. Cassandra and Percival, is that right? And you hear a sort of muffled voice. That's right, yes, Mr. Percival. Good. I want your eyes on them. Tell me what they do. If they do anything strange, then, let me know. Oh, and same goes for, Jolene. If you see her, or someone that looks like her, you fucking let me know, okay?
Oh, sure. But if I do this, you think that we might be square?
We're square when I fucking say we're square. Until then, you do everything I tell you.
Story of my life. Alrighty. Well, thank you for your call, Mr. M.
Yeah. And he hangs up.
What a nice subject.
There's a letter. There's a letter through the mail in a brown envelope.
So I barely recognize a brown thing in my floor. Pick it up. Look for the address. Who sent it?
Yeah. No address, no name, no return address.
Huh. Already being caught, huh? So let's see what we got in here.
There is a lanyard at the end of which is a gold engraved sort of talisman with the address of Babylon on it.
Wasn't Babylon like this medieval castle thing with King Arthur and all that stuff? Yeah.
You could Google it if you believed in Google, but you don't. So you're pretty sure it was King Arthur's place.
Surely.
So it's getting towards the afternoon. What would you like to do, Vincent?
So I'm going to get prepared. that includes. I need to go to Babylon, right? Do I know where?
Yes.
I have been there before.
You haven't been there before. It's not opened yet, but you've like heard about the construction of it as it happens while you've lived in the city. It's in sort of local newspapers and stuff like that they're building, and it's even international news as well. But you're not really tracking like the social media side of it. But you hear from whatever like radio news that you watch or on your analog TV that this is quite the structure that they're building here in the city, and it's sort of for one night only, this huge event with celebrities and famous actors and the like who are going to be attending.
So Vincent is going to call one of his contacts, if I have one.
Yeah.
And have a little chat about the owner of Babylon and what's the deal with this whole thing.
Right. Yeah. You can learn that Tiffany Reader is the sort of darling socialite of the news at the moment. She's a model primarily, but sort of nowadays mostly just a celebrity. And she's opening this club to welcome the sort of elite of the world. You know that high-class business people are going to be there. Russian oligarchs, shady politicians. It's been the sort of secrecy of it has been sort of played up quite a lot. You suspect that it's just another excuse for rich people to sort of do things in excess.
Okay. So, what else? I already have familiar knowledge of the couple of Cassandra and Percival. I already deal with them before, right?
Yes, I think the three of you have had a few transactions in the past, so you do know them. But how much you trust them is totally up to you. Certainly, Mr. M is someone that you wouldn't like to cross, but he's just told you to watch them so far.
Yeah, sure. So I'm grabbing my phone and some of my equipment, mostly a hidden gun filled with blanks, lockpicks, and my trusty phone with his powerful camera that makes sure to document all the stuff.
All right. So as Vincent heads out, we'll move over to Jolene. So Jolene, you're in your hotel or motel room, which is pretty simple, a sort of one bed affair, which the room sort of smells of old cigarettes. They say it's a no smoking room, but it's been smoked in for like 30 years beforehand and hasn't been like replastered or anything, so it just smells of sort of old smoke. But you've sort of gotten used to it because you've been living in motels like this for so long that it's the sort of clogginess of the air is almost forgotten. But there is a knock on your door, maybe just as you're finishing checking your YouTube channel. There's a little sort of rat-tat-tat on the door.
Who is it?
You look for a little eye hole and you can see Donna on the other side. She's sort of short, keen, eager to see you, and sort of excited.
Donna, come in! And she like pulls a little chain across. She kind of fights with it for like a hot second, and then gets the door open.
Yeah. She says, "Hey, how's it going?"
I haven't seen you for a hot minute. Where have you been? I came down to get a soda and you weren't there.
Oh, well, it's been a very busy day actually here at the motel. It's surprising. I think what it is the big opening night tonight at that club Babylon. And we're getting all sorts in here today.
Oh, really? I heard about that. I saw it on my Instagram. And she like gets her phone out and she's like showing all the pictures.
Yeah, the city's just flooding up. I mean, even people who aren't actually attending are just going out there to see it all happen. They reveal what's going on. It's kind of exciting.
Are you gonna go?
Well, I was thinking of maybe heading down there, yeah. Do you want to?
Oh, I don't know. It's not really my scene. She definitely wants to go.
Well, if you change your mind, then let me know. I do have to get going. My boss is all on my case, and people just keep coming in. So drop by if you want to go.
Okay.
I'm heading out at like 8.
All right. I will come by at 8:30. I mean 7:30. When do we need to go?
7:30 would be, a couple hours.
7:30. All right. And she reaches down.
I'll set you an alarm.
And by the door, she's got the pot in which Coco the coconut sits. Do you
Right.
mind taking him for a walk? He needs some sun.
Sure. She understands and takes Coco with her. What are you going to do for a couple hours?
She's like giddily setting a million alarms on her phone. She's pulled out everything that she owns and spread it across the bed, and she's trying to work out what to wear. And she'll, of course, decide there is nothing good. And she's gonna head out to the parking lot to her beat-up car, and she's gonna drive down to the local mall to go buy something new to wear. In her wallet is like the last $30 she has. But that'll be fine. That's enough to buy something.
Mm-hmm. When you're at the mall and going through some clothes in a store, across the mall, sort of, you know how there's like different walkways and there's like glass panels everywhere and there's like bridges across and shit like that. Across the other side of the mall, you see the same figure that you've seen for weeks now that always follows you. A person in what looks to be a dark sort of hood and hoodie. You can barely make out their face. Difficult even to tell if they're a male or female sort of figure. And they're staring at you from across the mall.
She'll dive right into whatever shop she's nearest to, in an attempt to hide behind like a shoe rack or something. I imagine it's gonna be one of those shoe shops with just like tons of trainers everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, you dive into cover, and one of these sort of store attendants says, "Hey, are you okay? Do you need help with the shoes?"
Oh, I'm fine. Actually, do you have the new Nikes? And she gets totally distracted by shopping.
She nods and starts to like help you out with the the whatever clothing it is you want to get, whatever new outfit that it is that Jolene has in mind. When you look back up, reminding yourself of the stalker, you do see that it's gone. Whoever it is no longer there.
Hell's bells. That was narrow, miss. I changed my mind about these shoes. Sorry, thank you for your time. And she looks back like longingly at the shoes. But then she knows she hasn't got enough.
You head back to the hotel. Well, to be honest, it's a motel. You head back to the motel, and you park your car in the usual spot next to Donna's. But the strange thing is that Donna's car isn't in the parking lot anymore. It definitely was when you left.
I look down past my very rapidly melting pink frappuccino and kind of look at the time. I'm like, I thought she said we were going at 8. And I check my phone to see if the dashboard's wrong. What time is it?
It's 7:30.
Oh. And she'll get out, grab her shopping bags, and like rush over to where she would normally meet Donna. And like knock on the door.
Yeah, as you rush past, Donna's not on in like her spot behind the desk. It's actually an empty desk, but you do see your coconut there. So she's not on the front desk. So you go to her room and you knock on the door, and there's no response. No one else seems to be around. Though you do know that the manager, Matthew, is somewhere around.
Donna? Did you already leave? And then, if there's no response, she'll go back and pick up Coco.
Yeah, as you're going back to pick up your coconut, you actually see Matthew coming through in a sort of buttoned-up shirt. He's in his 40s and always overstressed for the situation, though not particularly commanding or inspiring. He's where's Donna? She's not on the front desk. She said she would be until later.
I just came to meet her. We were meant to be going out at 8, but her car's not in the parking lot.
She's probably in her room. Let's go knock.
I already knocked.
She didn't answer?
No, sir.
He's got a loop of like in his wallet, rather. He's got a bunch of like pass code cards they use to get into hotels nowadays, and like knocks on Donna's door again. Says, Donna, you in there? Donna, I need you to come out if you're in there. Knocks
Donna,
again.
it's Jolene and Matthew.
Well, let's make sure she's okay in there. And swipes the passcode. It's just not like her at all. And he opens the door into the room, and Donna is not there, but the window to her room is smashed and opened, and sort of wind is blowing in. The room itself is a mess. It looks as though someone has turned this whole thing over. It looks like either someone's had a wild party in here with like 50 people, or someone has just turned over the whole place. And you've seen houses that have been robbed. They look like just all of the cupboards have been pulled out, everything under the bed has been dragged out. Mm-hmm. And Matthew says, "Holy shit! Do you think someone broke in here?"
It sure looks like. Why didn't you call the cops, Matthew?
Yeah, I think I should. Wait, he gets his mobile out and calls 911. Yeah, we've had a. Go ahead.
Gonna wander into the room, and she's gonna look for like sign of Donna, but she's specifically looking for Donna's handbag, because if that shit is here, then something's gone wrong.
Yeah. You step in, and it's not there. But on the sink, where it looks like maybe she would have been getting changed, there is a lanyard, and on it there is a little golden engraving which says Babylon on it, and on the reverse it has the address and time of the event. You don't recall her saying she had an invitation. She was just going outside to sort of watch.
I glance over my shoulder to see if Matthew has like an eye line into this bathroom.
Yeah, he's not. He's turned away and he's on the phone saying, "Yeah, I think there's maybe a kidnapping or a missing person. She's about," and he goes on to describe Don.
And Jolene swipes that lanyard. She's seen what this is. She knows what this is. Some people were bragging on the social medias, and she just kind of discreetly drops it. She's still got bags of shopping with her, so she just drops it in with her dress from like Forever 21 or wherever she ended up getting a dress from.
Yeah. The invitations, were going for like tens of thousands of dollars. So it was like incredibly exclusive, even up to the sort of $1 million ticket, depending on like the different VIP packages that they were selling online. So this is in itself just incredibly valuable. So you pocket it, and Matthew gets off the phone and he's very concerned. Says, "Did you see her car out there in the parking lot?"
I already told you, Matthew. It wasn't there. I pulled up in my normal spot.
You're definite?
Matthew.
Well,
there's no car.
The police say they're going to be here in a bit. I said that we were talking through it. So we just need to stay here for a couple minutes.
Well, why don't I go see if I can find her? I'll take my phone and I'll call her and just go around the block.
Well, I don't know if that's safe. I mean, there could be a kidnapper out there on the loose. I don't want you to put yourself in danger. The police will be here in a couple minutes' time.
I promise to lock my door, my car door. I'll lock it. I'll put the thing down.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go.
one's gonna bother
your car
me
in
in
case
my
someone tries to
car.
break in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I'll be here in a bit.
Maybe
So,
don't mention I was here. You know.
Why?
Well, it's better if it comes from the manager, not some nosy Parker, right?
All right, but if they ask, I'm gonna say that you were here.
But why, Matthew? I didn't do nothing.
I can't lie to the police. Hell, there's CCTV and cameras anyway. They're gonna find out.
I hadn't thought about that. All right, you're right. You shouldn't lie to the police.
Yeah. Let's just focus on getting her back. You go lock up your car, and they'll be here
Should
soon. I'm
never
sure.
lie to the police about anything.
That's right.
Matthew, do you have like, I don't know, like $20-$30 I could borrow? Someone at the mall took my purse.
Yeah. Sure. And he like absent-mindedly hands you two $20 bills.
Oh, thank you. I'll pay you back on Friday.
Yeah. No worries. I gotta take a sit down. This is a lot.
Yeah, you stay there. Here. And she goes into her bag and she pulls out the half-finished pink frappuccino and just hands that over.
He sort of sips on it gratefully, and yeah, you can leave him. What does Jolene do?
Jolene just runs down to her room. She slides everything off the bed into a great big lump, shoves it into her suitcase, and then zips it up as best she can, runs into the bathroom, scoops all of the stuff off her vanity into the Forever 21 bag, and then she just legs it across the car park with all her shit into the car. Oh no.
Well, you get into the car.
She like runs back to the coconut in the bucket.
Yeah.
Straps him
You
into
see-
the passenger seat.
You begin to hear sirens as you see cop cars begin to pull into the motel to respond.
Very calmly, she just casually drives out. Very calm.
Yep.
Most calm.
Alrighty. So, where does Jolene head?
I think Jolene kind of actually does do as she kind of suggested she was going to, just a lap of the block, and then when she sees like how many cop cars have pulled in and stuff, she's going to keep driving, and she's going to head towards the city, and she'll like flip on her phone onto speaker, and she's going to try calling Donna because she's very concerned about where Donna might be. And who might have Donna, also on the list of things she's concerned about.
The phone call goes unanswered.
Hi Donna, it's Jolene. If you get this, if you could call me back, that'd be great. And she is like glancing down, flipping through her contacts, and she realizes she doesn't have like any of Donna's relatives or anything. And she's trying to get Facebook to load up, but I imagine like the signal's kind of going in and out, and it's just taking forever.
And you're like driving as well while you're doing this.
It's like one hand. All right, cars. Yeah, so that. Yeah. Right. Oh,
As
stopping.
As you're one-handing it and checking your phone for updates from Donna, an alert goes off on your phone. It sort of dings, and you look down at it. It's just spam email about your YouTube channel. But you realize as you're looking up for it too late that there's a van ahead of you and you're going way too fast. And it's actually too late to do anything but hard brake. So you suddenly sort of like hard brake down, and your car is still going pretty fast by the time it actually crashes into the back of this old janky van as you rear end it. And as the two of you sort of like pull the car, stop the cars, and traffic around, begins to swerve and honk on the way, who should get out of this van but Percival and Cassie, both of which are still wearing that are also wearing the lanyards too.
By the way, I do not advocate for using your phone while driving. Don't do it. Put that shit away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or you wind up hitting the back of somebody's RV.
Yeah. So Percy and Cassandra, you two have just been rear-ended.
Okay. Yeah. So Percy, like, you see the RV kind of like yank over under the shoulder, like really fast and angrily. Slams on the brakes, and door flies open, slams shut, and he just like in a huff just goes to the back of the van. The RV is looking at it, and he's just like, "Well, there goes my good day. There goes my good mood. There goes it all. I guess we're gonna have to start drinking early, huh? Hey, Cassie.
Would you like me to fix you something, dear?
I mean, if you can, that'd be fine. Don't stress yourself, though. Not on my account."
Oh, no, not at all. Well, the car was smoking. If, there was anything that needs to repair, maybe we could just say it happened after she hit us.
Oh yeah, definitely. We can do just like that estate sale down in Florida that one time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I think that's exactly what we should be doing. Let me get you a glass of sweet tea from the back, and she'll step into the back of the RV. Like,
thank you, my dear. And then he just kind of stands there and waits, pipe tapping on his shoulder for this person who rear-ended him to get out of their car.
Jolene, meanwhile, is just like slowly headbutting the steering wheel, regretting every ounce of her existence. And she looks up and sees this guy just impatiently stood there, and fuck. And she like undoes her seatbelt, climbs out of the car, pulls down her skirt. I'm real sorry. Are you alright?
Oh, well, thankfully, my dear, we and you yes, we are.
You look at Jolene, and she is one of the single most attractive people you've seen in a very long time, Percy. She is.
Well, I mean, heavens to Betsy, I do wish we were meeting under different circumstances, but.
Me too.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name's Percival Randolph Stewart III. You can call me be Percy or Randy, whichever you prefer, ma'am.
That's a real nice name. I'm real sorry about your RV. And she's gonna like turn and like look at it, like bend over and like hand over the scuff on the bumper. The dead,
well, now,
I imagine.
Now, the most important thing, my dear, if you look further underneath the undercarriage, you're gonna have to get down there. You'll notice that is that's the part where it's gonna be hardest to fix if you can see it.
She'll bend a little further to try and peer. I'm afraid I don't know anything about cars or vehicles. I'm real sorry. I didn't mean to hit you. My stupid phone alarm went off. Startled me.
And Cassie is on the inside, being like fast pouring a glass of sweet tea, putting a little spritz of whiskey in there, going,
fastest glass of tea you've ever poured.
like, he's madder than a wet hen out there. I gotta get this glass to him. He's gonna tear that woman apart. Just gets that and like rushes back outside.
Oh my
that kind of boomer couple where you just like, I know what he's like around young girls. That's fine.
But the thing is, in all this, like, even though Percy probably in the back of his mind recognizes Jolene for a reason, he's forgotten about the whole everything, and it's just like, and so when because Cassie comes around the corner, he's just like hand on Jolene's shoulder, ma'am, alarms are one thing, but you gotta be careful when driving. I mean, Cassie Sue, yes, how are you?
I've got you your glass of sweet tea, dear.
Oh, thank you. That's gonna calm me right down.
I'm so sorry. It was a total accident. Are you alright?
They do tend to happen. We shouldn't beat ourselves up.
Well, that's mighty nice of you to say.
But I do believe that the van, the dear RV, does need a few repairs after this. It's quite the dent, and I'd hate to think of what the undercarriage looks like. Have you checked it yet, Percy?
Oh, yeah, I made sure to show her that, just to make sure she knows the extent of the issue here.
We do have to be able to tow merchandise and the like.
And she goes to reach into her bag, and I'd like to use my perpetual victim card in an attempt to turn the situation in my favor.
You go into your bag and get your victim card.
I'm a perpetual victim.
Here it is.
I'm a perpetual victim. It's not my fault. Okay, so whenever you appear defenseless during a dangerous experience, which I consider this encounter to be, roll plus charisma. And then there are a number of things. This is page 104.
Let's have that roll. It's also important to note that Jolene doesn't look exactly like the photo that you have. She has changed her appearance from the photo because she's on her own. Okay. So her features look similar, but you know the disguise is such that there's a suspicion there that this could be the person. But like, there are a lot of fucking people in the city.
11.
Yeah. Percy's not thinking about really the pig. They're supposed to find at all.
You're not thinking about
much about anything. So on an 11, I get to choose one option. So I can make someone want to take care of me, make an aggressive person want to not harm you, make someone confide in you. So I'm gonna try and angle this towards Percy wants to take care of me. I doesn't want to rob me blind of the remaining funds I have.
Alrighty, yeah. So you want sort of Percy to want to take care of you in this regard. Yeah. So like Percy, you know, you're going to be hard on her, but you've realized that, you know, she's a soft-hearted person. It's an honest mistake. People do this sort of thing all the time. The RV is kind of broken anyway. Like, you can see yourself working through this a bit.
I mean, I don't have much money, but I'm sure I have something that'll help.
Well, surely your insurance can cover it.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to make too big of a deal out of this, as you know. But
sure. I'm sure I have those details somewhere. And she goes back into her car, and she'll go in through like the driver's seat and lean across to the glove compartment. And she'll grab the paperwork, and it's like really out of date. Here you go. She hands it over to Percival.
Okay, and Percy looks at it, and he like notices the expiration date, but he still just writes the numbers down. He just writes her info down. Like, all right, ma'am, we'll report this, but like I said, don't you worry. I'm right there with you. It's been a whole thing.
I was robbed at the mall earlier. There's some crazy guy. Honestly, it's all crazy. My good friend Donna's gone missing.
Oh my. Well, you've just been through the ringer, haven't you?
I was looking for her when this whole thing happened.
Well, it weighs heavy on my heart to know that you are carrying around such burdens, and it's no wonder. I mean, accidents can happen. Like I said, we'll report this later. It's not that bad, really. I mean, Cassie Sue, it's right.
Sure.
I mean, I did get her information, so we should be able to report this just fine.
Certainly. Bless your heart, I reckon you should probably get along then and just take care of that business. Find your friend.
Thank you. I hope you have a better rest of your day. Real sorry about the scuff.
Oh, it's all right. It'll be another badge of honor of all the travels we've had in this RV here now. Remind me of you.
I guess it is kind of like that, isn't it? That's what they say about scars. They remind you where you come from.
That they do, ma'am.
I'll take you to survive.
Well, you have a good day now, ma'am, and be careful out there. Eyes on the road and all.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Eyes on the road.
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Wow,
And Jolene
that
takes the
was
paperwork
like,
back.
yeah,
I creeped
That was
myself out
like-
there.
watching three men at a sports bar speak with the waitress, like, whew, like you're just like that poor girl. Fucking. Wow. Yeah, Percy's like
And it's
whole
not
body
Percy's
lean.
fault that he's flirting with her. It's obviously her fault. So
Mhm.
she's just like,
So Jolene gets back in the car,
Yeah.
and the two of you get back in the RV.
Yeah. After Percy makes sure she gets back in her car, okay, because he's a gentleman, and then he turns to get back in the RV.
of course.
And
Suffice
Jolene
it
will
to
like
say that-
pull
yeah.
out and around them and like wave as she goes past. And then eyes on the road.
There's a sort of a pregnant pause with Cassie and Percival when they get back in the RV.
She seemed familiar to you?
Yeah. I think I've seen her type before.
I don't know. Just couldn't shake it. Anyway, what would you like to have breakfast, my dear? I kind of want some
I'm not
biscuits and
visit.
gravy.
I think Denny's nearby.
Oh my God. You know there is. You know how I am about that moon over my hammy.
Butter me up and call me a biscuit. Let's get us some breakfast.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
So
you
you
know.
guys go. You're pretty sure you just saw a tasty snack first of all, but you're on the breakfast.
I've already had my appetizer, but my appetite is still ravenous.
I'm sure we
Fucking
can find some
terrible.
way to sate you.
I'm sure I already did.
So many fucking boomers who speak that way. It's terrifying.
This is gonna be difficult.
The two of you head off for dinner. Jolene, you head off further into the city, still trying to text an update from Donna. And as you're pulling out, you do get a text on your phone, replied from Donna, which says, "Come to Babylon!" Exclamation mark. Oh, you're muted.
She flicks on to the Google app and just like with one hand really awkwardly swipes in Babylon and hits enter, and then puts it in the little cup holder because she hasn't got an actual stand for it, and navigates that way.
Yep. The most fucking dangerous setup to be driving with, looking down on the cup holder where the information is and then back up the road. Yeah, cool. So Jolene heads off towards Babylon. And so later this evening, we'll jump, and it's getting darker again in the city. The sun is almost set, but it's sort of the height of summer at the moment. So it's pretty long nights at the moment. All of you have headed to Babylon this evening as through various different paths and ways to get here. And you see that there is a huge crowd outside of the club Babylon. There is probably over 3,000 people in a crowd outside, sort of lining the either side of the one sort of like red carpet walk up there. That's press. You see the sort of like snapping of photos, thousands of photos being taken, and you see Babylon itself, its finished construction, which looks like an ancient sort of Babylonian church or temple, more so than it does look like a nightclub. The structure looks like it could have been there for thousands of years. Despite the fact it's new, it actually looks kind of old. Like weathered, so they must have done a lot of like work to make it sort of feel like an old temple. They haven't
Did they
made it look
research their
flashy and
historical accuracy?
Yeah, it looks it looks dead on actually. It may be a
Okay,
carbon
all right.
copy of a actual
Color-
existing Babylonian
Color
temple
me
that was
impressed
recovered.
then.
Yeah, it's damn impressive, and you know it would have cost hundreds of millions of dollars, and they've been building it for years as well. So this project started a long time ago, and they've been working on it ever since, basically leading up to this launch day. Outside and along the sort of like red carpet, there are bouncers who are stopping people from like jumping in, and you see a long list of celebs, actors, models, and the like making their way down the red carpet, taking interviews along the way, like it's an award show. There's TV cameras here and a whole setup. And so it leads into the front entrance of Babylon. At the start of the red carpet, which is several hundred feet long, there are bouncers and there's like a waiting list as well, like a checklist on who's allowed in. As far as you guys know, you're all on a list. The first to arrive, however, is Thomas. There's like a press of people that you have to make your way through to get to this line, Thomas, and sort of taking it all in, the glamour, the glitz of it all, the sort of sexiness of it all, and the obvious fame and attention which is being given to these people who are walking the red carpet is something that you've never experienced before, but you do have your invitation. So as you press your way through the crowd, one of the bouncers looks at you sort of gruffly, and it's like, "Move along. Don't need people on the list here."
I got this. I show him the lanyard with the gold thing. Matt.
He looks at it in recognition. Your name is Thomas?
Yeah, my name's Thomas. Yep.
Thomas. Thomas, you're one of the special invitational guests. I'm going to have to ask you to wait here, and we'll take you along with the rest of you once the others arrive.
Okay. And he'll
just
make
wait right there,
himself
sir.
big.
Miss
He'll
Reader
make
will see
himself
to everything. Yeah, he's started being a lot more polite to you and less gruff now that he knows who you are. And again, you recognize the distinctly sort of London accent on the man, as you remember not being in England at the very least. But although you're like
immigration, Brexit is cool.
Yeah, it certainly has.
People coming
You
out,
your memory of what city you're in, however, is difficult to grasp onto. You don't remember if you're on the west coast or the east coast. The dreams have been incredibly difficult. You've been on the move for so long. You know you're in a city and it's bustling, but it strikes you as you're sitting here that you don't recall exactly which city you're in. But nonetheless, more people begin to arrive, mostly sort of star-studded, famous people coming along into the red carpet walk. And then you see someone that doesn't look like they necessarily fit in here, and it is Vincent. Vincent, you have the invitation to come in. You've sort of come along and seen the press of people, and it seems like the only way to actually get into this place, which is pretty heavily guarded, is just with the invitation that you have. Mr. M is a very powerful individual who can pull strings in the same way, but in a way that you need to in events like this. So you sort of come along, and the bouncer gives you a look and is like, yes, name?
Vincent Alt Access.
There's a Vincent on this list. For the description, you're one of Miss Reader's special invitations. If you would please wait here for a couple of moments, and then we'll take you along.
Sure, but what's that funny smell?
I don't know. I don't care.
Vincent looks at Thomas. Oh, okay. Okay, kinky. I like it.
Thomas, you look up at the strange man who's also wearing a lanyard.
I wave and smile.
So I approach him and I greet him. Hi, how's it going, mate? What's your name?
Hi. My name's Thomas. What's yours?
Oh, I'm Vincent. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. And his hand again extends right into your face to shake it.
Whoa! Personal space, dude, but I like it. I like your style. I think your style. So, what's your business? At Babylon.
Multi-pass.
Oh, I remember that. That was from that movie with Star Wars, right?
Oh. I don't know. It just says multi-pass and it's gold.
Nah,
I don't know.
Never mind. Never mind. Just a geek in me, you know. I like to watch movies and stuff.
Oh. Okay. I like cheese.
Cheese.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, if you don't mind me asking, when you got that invitation of yours?
I woke up with it. Or was it a social worker gave it to me? I don't know, I can't quite remember. However, I do know this is all shiny. They said there'd be food, they said there'd be drink, and someone who could tell me about nightmares. That's very important.
You got a lot of nightmares?
Wait, are you that person?
Oh, no, but here's the thing. You need this crystal, and Vincent starts talking about crystals to him.
Right.
Starts selling him
And
magical rocks.
You're in like 5 minutes deep into the conversation about magic rocks when Jolene shows up, and the bouncer gives you a smile and says, "You on the list, love?"
Oh yeah. I have one of the passes. See, special guest.
Of course. Why don't you just wait right here? You're one of Miss Reader's specially invited guests. Please, there's 2 of us waiting here. Just a couple
Has
more.
my friend Donna arrived? Can you check on the list for me?
I'll take a look, but I don't think there's a Donna here. No, I'm sorry, no Donna on the list. Just a, you.
Of course.
You are Mrs. M.
Uh-huh.
Good. Well, please wait here with these 2 other gentlemen, and only a couple more left.
Sure. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know, I really like this crystal. It's very blue and shiny. What one does this one do again?
Vincent is totally put off because he recognizes Miss M, and he's like, like he tries to avoid eye contact.
And Jolene is like frantically touching up her makeup. She like pulls down her top a little bit, up her skirt a little bit because she hasn't had time to change. And trying to make her outfit kind of more like nightclubby.
Right. Yeah.
I pocket the crystal.
Yeah, keep that one.
The hemline of her t-shirt.
I wanted you to keep that
tightens
one. Right. Yeah, Jolene's like fixing up her appearance. And then, of course, who should show up but Cassie and Percy. The 2 of you roll up, and behind a bouncer, you can see that there's 2 other gentlemen waiting there, one of which is definitely homeless. And also there is Jolene, who is currently sort of touching up her outfit and sort of getting into nightclub mode. And the bouncer looks at the 2 of you and says, yes, names please for the list.
We are content curators here. We are Cassandra Suzanne Price. And this is my dear muted boyfriend, Percival Randolph.
Sorry, I was a bit taken aback. I should notice that it is our turn to bump into you, is it not, ma'am? And then he looks back to the bouncer. Yes, I am Percival Randolph Stewart III, content curator, as you can tell here, and we do have business, my good man.
Well, you're on the list, so and you're the last of us. Wait a moment, and your handler will be here in a moment's time. Make yourselves comfortable. There are chairs as well, and you
Thank you.
you see Jolene.
Cassie's
sort of move
just
through.
fluffing her hair because, you know, the higher the hair, the closer to heaven.
I heard that once at a beauty pageant that I won.
Sure you did. Pretty little thing, aren't you? Just so
It's
pretty.
so funny to see you again, Mr. Stewart III.
Oh, please, you can just call me Percy.
Percy.
And
I always liked that name. I had a cat called Percy once.
oh well, it's an absolutely perfect name for a cat, if I do say so myself.
Little ginger-haired tomcat. Used to get into all kinds of trouble.
I don't know. Never really did like the ginger-haired cats, but maybe that's just a personal preference.
I
And
don't really
oddly
care
enough,
for
his
animals much in general.
well, there is that. They don't care for me that much, but that's okay. But my good sir, is that Vincent? Oh,
Vincent?
is that you, Vin?
Oh, hi!
I mean,
It's
I haven't seen you in
see.
yeah since and he kind of looks at Cassie since he came into your shop a while back. Did he not?
Oh, I believe so. Yes, you got
Yeah,
that
yeah.
piece from Arizona. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that little book with the funny cover on it, right? If I
Yeah,
remember
that'd be the
correctly.
one.
How
Yeah,
have you been, man?
Oh, I've been doing great. Have you met my friend Thomas? And Vincent kind of pulls him like in front of everybody.
Hi.
Oh,
He likes cheese.
I really do like cheese.
That fact cannot be overstated. We can tell. How are you, sir? And he does that kind of like shaking two fingers at the very end to
The
touch him
fish.
as little as possible. Just kind of like
and I give him
as-
a handkerchief after, like, and he pulls his hand back and his hand.
yes. Anyway, it is very nice to meet you, Thomas. Is it?
That's right. Yeah, Thomas.
Did you? Are you part of? You're coming to this event? Is there part of like an outreach lottery for people here in the lower community?
I think so. I think a social worker gave me it. I'm trying
that
to
would make
remember.
sense.
That
Bless your
tracks.
heart. You look like you've had such a hard life.
Ah, yes, I did, Thomas. And man claps you on the shoulder. You recognize Damien, your social worker. Good-looking guy in his 30s, little bit sort of sympathetic towards Thomas, wearing a grey suit, bit of stubble.
Sorry,
Pleased
Will,
to meet
do
you.
I remember?
You recognize this man? He's your social worker.
But I don't recognize what he did. I don't remember what he did with the
Oh, that
knife.
was your nightmare.
Okay.
You're pretty sure.
I'm
it's
pretty
tough,
sure it's
yeah.
a nightmare. Okay.
Jolene,
Yeah, I mean,
in
you
this
have nightmares
instance,
about people, so.
having
Okay.
not noticed Thomas and Vincent before, and now being very aware of both of these people, she kind of trips backwards, I think, into Percy, trying to figure out how to hide in a situation where she's with two people that she has no idea how they would be here as well, and this is weird.
Well, my dear,
I'm sorry.
you are making a habit of this, aren't you?
I'm
You should
bumping
really
into all
watch where
kinds of
you're
things
walking.
today. All kinds of strange folk.
Please
Hello,
let me
please,
introduce myself as well. My name is Damien. I am Thomas's social worker, and it is indeed part of an outreach program that Miss Rita has been working on. She's very benevolent and kind, especially here in the city. And, well, I'm also here to help all of you tonight and introduce you to everyone as you're the lucky guests, the 5 chosen by Ms. Rita to come here. So, why don't I start with some introductions?
I think there's been some mistake. I'm just looking for my friend.
Your friend, maybe I could help. What's her name?
Donna.
Donna. Oh, I think she's inside.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm
Why
going
don't we
Is she all right?
come inside together? Oh yes, no one's. I'm sure she's going to be well looked after. Crikey. Yes, she'll be absolutely fine.
Besides, my dear, I don't believe I actually caught your name earlier. What is it again? Talking to Jolene.
Oh, it's Joanna White.
Oh, Joanna White, Miss White. Please, don't worry. We'll stick with me. Stick with Cassie and I, and we'll look after you. We won't let anything happen to you. Still got to make that insurance claim after all.
Oh, of course.
Right. Well, it seems as though you already know each other, so that's saves me the job.
If
We
Jolene,
bumped into each other, you could say.
Yeah, once or twice.
if Jolene looks at Thomas, he's kind of going. He's trying to think if he remembers it. Something's, but he can't quite put his finger on it, and he's like.
And
He's looking very
Jolene
weird.
is side-eyeing Thomas, like, what? And she's just avoiding Vincent altogether. The harder she pretends Vincent's not there, maybe it might become true. And she's kind of got her phone out, and she's texting Donna back, like, are you inside? Where are you?
No response yet. I'll keep you updated. Damien says, why don't we get some drinks? And drinks are immediately brought to you as well, sort of like champagne flutes.
Well,
Wait,
now this
enjoy.
is a party.
Wait, there are other drinks other than special brew.
Oh, my
yeah,
good man
that's-
Thomas.
That's right, Thomas.
The world is your oyster
Yeah.
tonight. You should delve into it. You have
Okay.
brought the dirt, my good sir. You can make the pearl.
Is that how that works?
Very
Is
bubbly.
that how?
That is
Well,
how
with the-
pearls are formed.
With enough pressure over enough time, you can do anything, my good Miss White.
I
A
think
little
that's
piece of
true.
grit gets stuck in there, and you just can't let it go. And that's how the oyster gets the pearl form. It's a self-defense mechanism, really. Something.
Is that how you met your husband?
Oh no, we met over at my antique store down in Pascagoula, Mississippi, and then we went out for several cups of coffee. And we're not married; we're boyfriend girlfriend.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean, we
I'm
don't
sorry.
feel the need to participate in such arcane rituals. Just so the
So
government
people
can
pay for-
track you.
Exactly.
How
Well-
can they track you if you're married to someone? What?
It's a paper trail, my dear. It's merely a paper
Yeah.
trail.
Just paper trail.
I see.
The only paper I care about is good, cold, hard cash.
Damien is like shuffling the group of you as you talk through the red carpet. Why don't we just go through here and we'll just... yes, thank you. Let's coming through. Yes, these are the special cases. You understand? Good man. Come through. There we are. And you get to the up the steps past all the crowds and the flashing cameras and to the sort of great doors of Babylon. Inside, there is this ancient-looking room, and it seems to be a sort of like waiting room lobby with lots of different doors and exits going out from it, sort of alcoves and scullies and the like, sort of dark corners where people appear to be having conversations with one another. And there are plenty of famous folks around, and also people who must be just incredibly wealthy or influential people that don't necessarily work in the limelight as some of the actors here do. And Damien sort of shuffles past people with you and stops you in a part of the room where there's enough space for all of you, and says, "Well, Mr. Reader is very excited to have you with us tonight, and well, I'm here to help with anything you might need. I suppose you might have a few questions about the event, who's doing what kind of things there are to see, to do, that sort of thing. But before we get to all
Thomas,
of that,
put your arm down.
yes, no need for that. Crikey, no. But Miss Reader did want to speak with you all first before we get to any of the festivities.
That would be delightful.
Vincent would like to quietly approach either Percival or Cassandra and kind of whisper to them, "Keep your eyes peeled. What are the odds? Everybody here? Something's funny."
My good sir, something is always funny, but I will keep my eyes open. And thank you for the heads up. Various things are afoot. Just be ready.
And while the three are talking, Jolene takes her opportunity to kind of move over to Thomas. Thomas, what are you doing here? What are you doing waving your arm about in the air? That's what I know. Strange. Let's come over you.
I wanted to ask a question.
We ain't at school. Just ask. Now don't tell me what you're doing here. Why you're acting so funny.
Well, who are you? What?
Oh, really? I changed that much that you don't recognize me.
I mean, you look familiar. Did you tip me like $5 one time?
Mm-hmm.
He gets a drink. Drink?
I got cat claws right into the leg. Sorry.
Oh dear.
Thanks, Thomas.
And he grabs another drink and takes a sip.
Yeah, I think like the longer you guys look at Jolene, Percy, and Cassie are like starting to make this connection because there's a lot of weird conversations happening right now. You also met her earlier. It's possible you managed to get a look at like a name on a driving license or something, I don't know. But you're not certain should change her appearance from the photograph, but what are the odds that you get sent to this place and it just so happens that someone quite like this description, calling herself Joanne, shows up?
Kind of coming to that realization, he would kind of nudge Cassie Sue. Doesn't she look familiar, my dear?
Does she look familiar? And then just kind of pause a second and be like, "Oh, you know, maybe she does."
Mm-hmm. Need to be careful how we want to play this.
We do indeed. You seem mighty possessive. So.
That is true. I guess we should mind the shop then about this whole deal.
Probably.
So, Vincent, what have you been up to lately, my sir? And he kind of goes back to just casual conversation, but is distinctly keeping an eye on Jolene now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Vincent, who might not be the sharpest tool in the shed, however, he didn't reach this. He didn't become a criminal by just ignoring all the signs. So he's kind of all heads up, looking around, seeing if there's something out of the ordinary going around. And he's like, answer. Yeah. Can I roll something?
Yeah, give me a roll. What kind of move you want to make, yeah?
So let's do a perception roll. I have a +3. Let's see. That's 14.
Alrighty. So you're taking around the room. You do recognize some faces here just from like the news and stuff. But the thing that strikes you as odd is that everyone looks as though they're speaking at a normal volume, but the sound that are coming out from everyone is more like a whisper. So you see someone speaking like this as though they're saying something quite loudly, but the sound coming out is more like a whisper when they're speaking like this, which strikes you as kind of weird. It may be the acoustics of this room.
So Vincent answers Percival rather loudly, and he says, "Rocks."
I'm sorry, my good sir. Could you repeat that, please?
Rocks, like healing rocks. Haven't you heard about that? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about like crystals, that kind of thing.
Yes.
Not, I don't deal quite like that with things of that nature, but I know that Cassie Sue is quite
I'm quite well
informed
versed
on
in
it. Mm-hmm.
why is everyone whispering?
Yeah, I thought this was a bar, not a library. Interesting.
Quite.
Something is very wrong here. Something's not funny, and it's not Thomas, if you know what I mean.
Damien sort of pipes up and is like, time for us to go
Hi.
free. Good to see you. I hope you're all having a good time. Can I get you some more champagne?
Whiskey,
Miss,
actually.
Miss White, why don't I get you something to drink? Maybe a some more champagne or wine or, goodness, maybe something stronger.
That sounds delightful. Yes, please.
I'm here to serve. And he
Why
goes
do
and
you
gets you a
charge?
drink. And you guys realize that now it seems as though Damien is quite overcome with Jolene as well. He's quite enamored by her. And so he goes and gets her a drink and is like quite
Jezebel.
obviously flirting in that sort of Hugh Grant sort of way. Oh, crikey goodness. Why don't I get you another drink?
What's awkward is that Thomas is stood right next to Jolene and not moving. He's just staring as they're doing the conversation. He's literally just moving his head, interested in what's going on.
Like a tennis match.
Yeah.
The conversation goes on for a little bit. Says, "Well, we're all right. Well, we better get a move on." And Miss Rita doesn't like to be kept waiting.
I'm sure we'd love a tour of the place while we're at it. I mean, it is beautiful in here. The architecture is just on point, I must say.
Of course, yes. Absolutely. After our meeting, I'll arrange a quick look around the whole place for all of us. There's plenty of nooks and crannies around. Yeah. Goodness.
Oh, we do enjoy exploring those, do we not, my dear?
Yes, we do.
So you guys got even the sword on the stone, you know, like in King Arthur's castle thing.
Well, this isn't a recreation per se of the mystical King Arthur's Camelot. No, this is ancient Babylon. It's the real place.
Yeah, Babylon. How could I forget about it? I mean, big Babylon.
It's a forgotten jewel. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, not
Yeah.
Babylon 5.
Yeah,
I've
with
seen
the
that show on
Hindari and
Netflix.
There's only one.
right,
There's
yes.
only been.
But I thought this
one
was the
Babylon.
first Babylon. This is the fifth.
Yeah, the first. Is it?
I'm confused. I do
I'm very
declare.
confused as well.
Babylon 5 is set in space. It's all about this little group of people in space, and robots
You're
and
talking
things.
about fiction, aren't you? Oh, bless your heart.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, yes,
own
I
a
didn't think
TV,
it was real.
so
It was just on Netflix.
Well,
I'm not quite sure what that
Babylon,
is.
I'm not sure if how much you learned in your public school system, but Babylon is an ancient.
I have, I got my high school diploma.
Oh, I'm sure you did. Babylon is an ancient civilization that was in the Mesopotamian crescent, the Fertile
Meso
Crescent,
what?
you could say. Mesopotamia. It was the fertile
Is that in
crescent, it was the
Mexico?
breadbasket of ancient times. It's a.
Mhm.
I just. I'm not gonna.
Oh, like
Here's what I-
Babylon in the song, by the rivers of Babylon. That one? I heard it at karaoke one night. It was very
We'll
pretty.
see you now. Maybe we can continue this afterwards. This enchanting conversation. Very insightful, Miss White. All right.
Oh, thank you. That's good.
He leads you through the sort of gathering throng and leads you through a door. He swipes he actually swipes his VIP like lanyard on a code on the door, and it switches from red to green, and the door just sort of slides open. You distinctly think this is not a feature of actual Babylonian architecture or technology, but nonetheless they seem to have like security around here and some modern things as well. And he lets you through the room and into this sort of it's a very nice room. It's small, but it's compact, and it's filled with sort of furniture. As you step into this room, it's sort of this light purple glow from the back of the room, and you can see that the back of the back wall is sort of like a waterfall, like water all coming down from the back, and there are purple lights on it to give it the sort of almost sort of effervescent glow, and gives it a sort of unnatural, almost unearthly look to the room, as there are no other lights other than those shining on the wall. There are chairs all around, sort of fine old leather chairs, very robust looking, probably worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, made by some antique creator. Both Percy and Cassie sort of eye them with a look of appreciation around the room. And you see sitting in one of those chairs is Tiffany Reader. You recognize her face immediately from any billboard, magazine, tweets, or just from television.
Existing.
Sorry?
I said just existing.
Just existing, yeah. Just by being a person in the universe, you know who this woman is. She's incredibly beautiful, with sort of classic,
Run here.
with sort of classic good looks, very enchanting. She's a very famous model, and you can see why the dress that she's wearing is sort of beautifully cut, but also shows off her figure. And she's smoking a cigarette, which she puts out as you enter the room. She sat down in the chair, doesn't stand when you enter, and she says, Damien, thank you so much for bringing my special guests here today. Welcome, friends, one and all, to my party. Please take a seat, have a drink, some food perhaps, or perhaps you're more interested in other tastes. And she looks at you, Percy. And there's something about this woman which is, I don't know, the word that you're feeling is like angelic. She has that sort of like ballerina sort of like perfection to her. And there's something about her which sort of draws you in. And for the rest of you as well, I think Percy is probably particularly sort of subject to such tendencies. But even the rest of you would notice that she's, very sort of enthralling when you see her. Not in necessarily a magical way, just when you meet a person that's like, damn. She's also very powerful. She holds herself in a way that she knows that you can tell that she's very comfortable in this situation.
I'm just tickled pink to meet you.
Yes, my dear, you do throw quite a dashing soiree here, and I've seen a couple of angels today, and you might be the best among them.
You are so very kind. It's a joy to have you here.
You're even prettier in person than you are on Instagram. You clearly do not Facetune.
Oh, you are
Cassie.
so very, very kind.
Cassie, what's Instagram? I heard that like the third time today.
I don't know what it is. It's probably something on the internet.
Oh, let me show
It gets
you.
Anyway.
Actually.
kids these days on the internet. Just,
And he blocks the camera on the phone from
me-
his
let me-
face.
Look at
It's only
this.
actually when you
Look at
go
the
to use your cell phone,
On my
it actually
Instagram.
doesn't. When you go to use your cell phone, it doesn't turn on. It's actually switched off, and you can't turn it on.
It
Any of
died.
you looking to use your cell phone also find the same thing.
don't have one. Not a problem.
Yes, there's no
Percy-
signal in
Percy-
here.
Percy checks the burner phone they gave him, just so he can look cool.
It's also switched off and doesn't look like it can turn on. And Tiffany says, "I'm sorry, it's a precaution. There are no cell phone devices allowed. There's some security thing in place which has stopped them from
That
taking
makes a
photos,
whole lot of
uploading
sense.
pictures."
Of course, no. You got to
You
be
can never
very
be too
cautious
careful.
about cell phone security these days. That's why I don't even have one.
I feel like
Mhm.
I should be honest with you, Tiffany. Since I look up to you, you see, I'm not Donna. This is her past. I'm Joanne. She hardly remembers that she's using a fake name. Joanne White, and this is Donna's. She's here apparently. Damien said she was here.
Oh, don't worry. I know who you are. We've made sure. I'm afraid nowadays when you walk in, face scanning technology, recognition software, I was told, it's fine. I think your friend is here in the gardens. We had the gardens of Babylon built.
Oh, the Hanging Gardens? Oh, how quaint.
Yeah, they're quite beautiful. I believe Donna was enjoying them.
Oh, I'm
Couldn't go
glad.
find her, though.
Seems like a lot of my friends are here.
Are
She,
you
like,
saying that
looks a bit
Donna is hanging around? Sorry.
But go ahead.
Thomas is going to just step forward, look directly at her, and go, "Are you the one to help me with my nightmares?"
Well, I suppose Damien here has told you a little something about it. So, yes, I can help you,
Yeah.
Thomas, with your dreams. Your dreams of falling
Yeah, and
and a voice.
and the pain.
Yeah,
So much
of course. Of course. Well, you see, maybe we could speak later tonight, you and I alone, and I could try and help you through some of that.
pain. Okay.
Do what I
Yeah,
can to help.
Get another drink.
But I must confess I had another reason to ask all of you here, aside from enjoying my gardens and opening night. I believe that some, maybe all of you, I'm hoping you can help me. There's a man here in the city, a very bad man. His name is Mr. Magnolia. And he's been rather out to get me for a little while now. And he uses all sorts of people to try and get them from me. And I don't like it when he does steal things from me, take things away, hurt people, do bad things. It's quite horrible.
I don't
And
know
so,
anything about that.
I'm hoping that maybe you could help me. I think maybe you know something about Mr. Magnolia.
No,
No, ma'am. Mm-mm.
but he sounds a bad person.
He is, Thomas.
Mm.
You hardly call him a person. That's how evil
Well,
acts he does.
my dear, what other than try to steal from you, what has he done to you? What is his interest in you?
Well, I hold several items, artifacts of great value, and some believe even power. Crystals, Vincent. I think you understand, more than most, the power these things can hold. Even if it's just a power of belief. Faith is such a foundation of our society. He
So you're saying
just caused great personal harm to me in the past. Great personal harm. And he will continue to do so while he exists in this city. So, I thought as friends maybe you would be willing to help me, but I understand that Mr. Magnolia is a very scary man. Intimidating. He has powers himself to track you down, make sure you pay. I thought maybe then it would be best to offer you a better deal.
And what is this better deal that you are so graciously offering?
Well, I would pay you double whatever he's going to pay you. And more. I will, if you help me with Mr. Magnolia, grant you anything, any one thing that you desire. I will make that happen.
Well,
so.
What?
Right.
What?
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. What do you want us to do to Mr. Magnolia? Like, how do you want
Nothing
us
bad.
to stop him?
Nothing illegal. No. I just want what's mine back. You see, he has something of mine. It's a statue of an angel. He said he would sell it to me, but I know better than that. You see, he works for this third party, Mr. Valentine, who I think Percy and Cassie, you two are familiar with. See, they stole it from me, and now they want to ransom it back for exorbitant price. I think it would be best to simply return my property back to its rightful owner. With your help.
Okay.
Let's see if she's lying.
Sure, you
She's
can
a
give me a roll.
liar, pants on fire. Alright. What would this be?
I think it's isn't there a specific thing? I think it's
Intuition? Read a person.
Intuition, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you always gotta.
There it is.
You are always the stronger one in that personal suit.
I can read. Alright, let's see here.
Whereas I can read books.
How about a 21, Will? Tell me all about
Damn
this
good.
lady.
She is telling you the truth. When she says she will get you anything, she has the ability to do that.
Uh-huh.
Well, at least she believes that
And-
she does. She doesn't think she's lying
Yeah.
to you there.
And the statue was hers. She believes it was stolen from her.
She believes that the statue was stolen from her.
Okay.
Now, would you say that there's anything going the other way, my dear? Have you taken anything from this Mr. Magnolia?
Oh, I'm not a common thief. Although I understand that his vault is filled with riches beyond wildest dreams, and I'm not particularly interested in riches anymore, so you'd be able to help yourself to whatever you could find, I suppose. It's none of my concern. All I really need, all I want, is that angel statue returned to its rightful owner here in Babylon.
You know, everything about this sounds quite lovely, but I have to chime in and tell you that. Are you familiar with Mr. M's style of retaliation?
Oh, I'm familiar.
So,
Are you scared?
Oh, of course I'm scared, lady.
Good.
You don't get far in this profession if you don't trust your gut.
My telephone is ringing. I'll be right back.
Well, it's the opening night of the club. It's going to be busy, madame.
It's
Please.
gonna be ringing off the hook. I mean, I thought, she didn't. It's a landline. She's smart. She hooked up a landline because the cell phones aren't working in here.
Yeah. Did you know the cell phone will actually give you cancer? That's why you should not use
They
them.
do. That's another one. You should never keep it on your person. If you do have
Oh,
one, keep
yeah.
it as far away from you as possible.
I'm trying to, cut all the electrical
Radio
lines in my
waves.
neighborhood
Experts.
as well, because that's bad for your health.
You got to be careful with that. Yeah, all those high-powered lines going through. I mean, they cause all kinds of defects, and
Yeah,
I want to blame
totally.
it on other things just so they can pass new laws and make us buy new. Anyway, I could get started, but I don't because I can't find my soapbox.
I'm so sorry
totally.
about that. The delivery is coming. Now, where were we? Yes, Mr. Magnolia's style of retaliation. Well, why don't I show you my style of retaliation? And then we can weigh up the consequences, whatever you decide. Jolene, why don't we go and find Donna?
I
Jolene.
don't know if I like the sound of that. And Jolene has backed her shit all the way back towards that door, and she's like looking for an exit out of here. This is all kinds of bad right now.
She takes you by the arm and starts walking with you. Damien says, I'll wait behind.
Okay. We get to see your friend.
Yes, we do, Jolene.
Thomas, I don't think we are going to see all of her friend. Like,
Vincent, do
she
me a
might
favor
be
and shut up, please.
hanging. If you know what I mean.
Vincent, kindly,
Well,
quiet.
No, I don't.
I'm sorry, Miss.
I think
Sorry.
Vincent is trying to elude the fact that her friend maybe has gotten a head start on her possible outcome.
Thomas is completely confused. He has no idea. In his mind, we're going to meet her friend.
Tiffany continues to walk.
Shall we?
She's like pulling you along.
And is she wanting us all to come with her, or just?
Yes, she's
Okay.
she's leading you. So you follow her through the sort of tunnels of the club Babylon. Damien stays behind in the room. He's got a sort of nervous sweat on his brow. But Tiffany seems completely unmoved. Come, I'll show you the gardens. You step out through a door into sunlight. It's almost like dawn, or maybe sort of mid-morning sun that's coming through. You distinctly remember the sun having gone down at this point. In the garden, it is beautiful. The trees are large and lush, and they sort of surround this long courtyard, which you're in, sort of in the center of the temple itself, with no roof. Plants grow alongside the trees, ripe and rich fruits are blossoming from the trees, and it is perfectly serene and beautiful. Tiffany says, "Isn't it wonderful what we've managed to create
It's
here?"
definitely a beautiful interpretation of the Hanging Gardens.
It's one could possibly say that it's even otherworldly.
So pretty.
Yeah, I don't like
Appreciate
plants.
your kind words. There's no accounting for taste, I suppose.
Well, they are
She,
good for the environment.
She leads you over to a tree and looks at it for a moment and says, "You see, I know that Mr. Magnolia is a scary man. The people that he has at his command would do bad things to you, I'm sure, if he knew what conversations we were having here. But what I'm showing to you is that he's not the one that you should be afraid of. And as you look at the tree, the fruits in the tree turn rotten in the course of several seconds and fall out from the tree, and the stinking fly-covered fruit drops to the ground. The tree looks withered and ancient, and you see your friend Jolene, Donna, is up at the tree. She has a noose around her neck, which has yet to be fully cut, and so she's alive, like holding on with her arms to the rope. They haven't been tied, but it's only a matter of time before her energy runs out and she's going to fall, at which point, no doubt, she will die fairly swiftly. And as you look at this rotten tree with Donna gasping for air, you see Tiffany Reader says, "Yes, as you can see, Mr. Magnolia is not the one you need to be afraid of. So, all of you are going to do as I ask, aren't you? Else, you could become another tree in my garden. I do so love to curate it."
Okay.
Sure. You had me at tree in my garden.
So, now, you're going to retrieve that ancient statue for me. I want it. And I want it soon. You have a week, and you have all of my friends to help you here. Damien will be your assistant. Retrieve the statue. I will give you whatever you want. It's a good deal.
Can I look at her aura, Will?
Sure.
Just a little incredulous look there. Let's see how I do. Probably bad because I rolled real good on the last one. Oh, no. Yeah. Is she, magic-y?
Yes.
Yeah.
You sense a creature of considerable influence and power standing before you. You can tell that this body which it's in is not its true body.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
hiding, and it's much bigger than Tiffany Reader. You can almost make out an outline of a thick, scaly body which stands 2.5 meters tall, grotesquely fat, milk white eyes, no irises or pupils, totally devoid of body hair, deathly white, semi-transparent, swollen, pulsating organs. And then the illusion reasserts itself, and Tiffany smiles. So, we better get started.
Why don't you let her
Enough
down?
already.
She didn't do nothing to you.
That's where we'll end tonight's session.
Ah!
Called Divinity Lost.
I didn't even realize it was that close to ending.
I know, it really snuck up on me as well. Yeah, I could have gone for another 3 hours. That was so much fun. I absolutely adore these characters, and I hate them so much at the same time. Some of them I just like, but all of them are really interesting and really fun. And we got to see a lot of each of them, which was really nice today. We also had our sort of origin scenes with our characters today, which is nice to sort of focus in on them before getting them together as a party, and then getting in to meet Tiffany Reader. So part of the illusion has been revealed. Hanging Gardens of Babylon are before you, and you have some decisions to make here next session. So thank you guys for watching and listening. Stick around here. We've actually got a little bit of like end game stuff we should do for our each session. We're meant to track XP. So if you have, so your aims are the first thing you're looking to achieve. If you succeeded on one of your aims, then you get an experience point. Does anyone think they succeeded in one of their aims yet? Still
I got
early days.
$40.
You got $40. That's a success. You did make some money.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I was just going to say kinda, because I think I found a person who could help me understand what the dreams were, or at least she says she has. She hasn't
Yes.
pulled through
Well,
with
I
it
think
yet.
she can help. Maybe not in the way.
That would be a success for you, Tom. You have found Tiffany Reader, who has the ability to help you with your dreams.
Haven't found any drugs, though, so disappointed.
No drugs.
Yeah, I mean, my aim was to find the secret auction, so I know the person who knows about it, but I have to do something to get it, so I'm not sure if that's completing an aim or not.
Yeah, I don't think you've completed that one yet. You're close to.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, same here. I have to obtain an item or, steal it. So I know where I can find stuff, at least right now.
Right.
And I have to complete a
then
task for the inheritor. So I don't think that's completed yet. I think it's just...
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think I've just figured it out.
Okay. So if you complete one of your aims, you get experience points. We'll go over what experience points do maybe next session. Or you can just look up in between sessions. It looks like page 136 is what we're seeing experience in character development. But we also all ask ourselves this question. So the first question is, have we discovered anything new about the truth? And I think it's fair to say that we have today. We learned a couple of things new about the truth, about this angel. Tom had the visions, and we've also learned that Tiffany Reader has some Garden of Babylon. So we all gain 1 XP through that. Have we learned anything new about our characters? I think we have. I think we've learned a couple. Well, actually, what have we learned that's new about our characters? Does anyone feel like they learned something new about their character?
I
You mean
didn't know.
Tucker?
Sorry, go ahead.
I mean,
No, you go ahead. Ladies first, Miss M.
I didn't know that Jillian was going to be so willingly ditzy and drive with her phone constantly. Apparently, she's a menace. I had no idea.
I would agree with that.
I think we learned that Cassie is very protective, and
I think she's more jealous than I had planned on her being intended to be. But of course,
Yeah,
none
no,
of
I
that
loved it,
goes to Percy. It's straight to the woman he's flirting with.
we
So.
definitely
Yeah.
learned that Cassie was jealous. We learned that, I think we probably already knew, but we definitely confirmed the fact that Percy is a bit of a sleazeball.
well, I think that, but here's what you learned. You learned that Percy has a lot more control, because, I mean, he has not made any overt grabs. He has not done anything untoward.
Yeah.
I mean, a little flirting,
Sure.
but hey, that's what makes it
I
all
feel like
go
this all
around.
comes with a yet disclaimer.
Right.
Yes.
It was an unspoken yet, but yeah.
I felt like we learned that Thomas is. I feel like Thomas was sort of more
likes cheese.
simple than I. Yeah, he likes cheese, but he was also sort of played more. He was having
Yeah,
troubles.
it was probably simpler than I originally anticipated, but then I started with it and just ran
rolled with
with
it,
it. Yeah, yeah.
I think as he recovers his dreams, we can play it more.
Yeah, that was my
Him
general idea.
Finding
yeah.
himself again, and
Yeah.
Tiffany can help with that. We learned that Vincent is ready to take a call from Mr. M.
Oh my god, I died every time you called him Mr. M. Oh, Joe would hate that.
And then the
Yeah, I
final
thought-
question. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Vincent.
I know. I also learned that Vincent is a bit more paranoid than I expected.
Right, yeah.
I like to the
I liked
point
it
of
when he-
start
Yeah, I liked it when he showed up and he was like, "Oh,
the mission.
Tom's here. fucking kinky.
Yeah,
He's got a sense of humor as well. Yeah.
he's definitely got
Yeah.
a dark sense of humor. Yeah.
Yeah. The last question is: have we challenged ourselves today? Do we feel like we've challenged ourselves? There's a lot of role playing going on today. That was
Lord challenges
tough
me
to stay
every day.
with it. It was tough for me not to just break out into laughter every time that Percy and Cassie and Darlene were
Oh,
interacting.
that
with
was
each other.
brilliant. That was. I just cried. So
I
funny.
challenged myself with the fucking accents. That was difficult. Three
Dang, you
different
did a
accents
lot
in
of
the same
accents
conversation
today.
and stuff. Yeah,
You
so
did an
that's,
impressive job of talking to yourself today.
I did, yes. I practice a lot in my spare time. So I think we've challenged ourselves. So let's give ourselves that XP there as well.
Okay.
So congrats, you guys. If you completed your aim, which I think Jolene did, and who else did? Tom. Another player gets to give you an aim.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
I like that.
Jolene needs a new aim. What's her current one that's residing? Is
She needs to tell Donna the truth.
tell Donna the truth
About who she
is one. So she needs one more. Does anyone want to give Jolene a aim?
Oh, go on, Pruitt. Go on. No, you don't. Go on.
Leave
You
my
dirty
man alone.
bastard. Why were you thinking?
You can give me a name. Come on,
Chat
Britt.
can help. Chat can help.
Yeah, chat can help.
Yeah,
It needs
chat
to
can
have a
help.
verb in like, I need to do something. And it needs to be achievable.
Yeah.
Right.
I need you to do something, and it's
I've
quite
got,
cheap.
I've got a tough one, and I'm not sure if it's doable.
It could be like, you should confront Joe. Or
No,
you
it
have to do something like
My one's quite broad, but it's to rescue. I don't know if she's completely
rescue
dead
Donna.
yet. Yeah, I think that might be a bit too hard, or I don't know.
You
Or
can
at
find out
least,
more
you know,
about the
come to terms with Donna's disappearance.
Yep.
Come to terms as Donna as a birch. I mean, you know.
Right. So,
Oh.
Your friend Cassie Sue, that is impossible.
Oof.
Like, achievable chat, come on.
Friend Cassie Sue.
Yeah, that's impossible. That is.
Not become a tree. There's your.
There you
Not
go.
become a tree.
Yeah.
I think that's a goal for all of us.
that's just an unspoken goal. What about like find out more about your stalker, or
Yeah. He could
that
be
would
a
be one to follow the trail there.
liability.
Avoid the police could be
Format.
another one if you wanted to.
What about?
Or reach out for help from someone you normally wouldn't.
Oh.
Because, you know,
I like that
That's
one.
enough.
the noose
Yeah.
is literally
Yeah.
and figuratively closing, so it's one of those things
Yeah.
where it's like you might have to trust one of these people.
Right.
You know, I don't know.
Alright, reach
Yeah,
out
let's,
for help to someone you
help.
wouldn't.
Yeah, from an unlikely friend. Oh, ally. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
And
And
then
what about
Thomas,
Tom?
we need a second aim for you.
Eat cheese.
I want to know
Find
more
more
about
cheese.
Thomas. Yeah.
Tane cheese.
I think he needs to speak to Jolene, right? Like he needs to have a conversation.
Yeah.
What about
I think confront
your aim
Jolene.
could be uncover your connection with Jolene.
Yeah. There you go.
Probably easy.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Because at the moment he's just got an inkling of that's it. He kind of knows you, but doesn't.
Mhm.
Right.
I think Flounder of the 12 has a great idea. You should. Tom has to take a shower.
It's impossible. I thought you said.
I like that as a
thought
goal.
you said realistic objectives. Come on, then.
no.
Come on.
Just,
I like it.
can we have that as a small side quest for half an XP?
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
I will add it as
Sponge
hang on,
bath.
so-
Oh boy.
Are you
Spoiled that.
volunteering, Percy?
Oh no, my dear. That is not my area of expertise.
There we
So
go.
we've
take a
got.
shower.
Everyone has 2 aims at the moment, right?
Mhm.
I
Cool,
don't have two aims,
perfect.
I only have one.
Oh,
I
if
need
you
to find-
ever.
I need a second aim.
Yeah, if you don't have a second aim, we need
Yeah,
a
we
second one
both
for
need
you.
a second name. We only picked one last week.
Yeah, Cassie completed task Fleet Inheritor as her first one. I think, well, something like picking a side about either with the Tiffany or Mr. Magnolia, like to resolve your relationship with him. I don't know.
I think that's a nice
sort of
couple's
similar
task.
to person.
Yeah.
Yeah, this could be a couple's task.
Yeah.
Pick a side. Cool.
Yeah, let's just pick a side and we'll know what that is. That'll be a second. Cool. Wow. So those are some aims completed, some XP handed out, and some more aims for next week for our cultists. If you've enjoyed tonight's show, then please do let us know. You can drop us a comment on YouTube, we'll love reading those. You can join us next week, Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern for more Kult Divinity Lost. Really loving to change our pace from Call of Duty, a horror game, but it definitely feels different with the technology, the references we're making, the feel of the city, and the characters. So loving it so far. Big thank you again to Kult Divinity Lost for sponsoring this show. If you haven't checked out the game yet, head over to cultdivinitylost.com and check it out. Or Modifius.net as well. Type in Cult and you can pick up a book, a PDF. They are beautiful and well worth it. Let's go around the cast and the crew. Did we enjoy ourselves tonight? Where can we find you online? Give us one of your favorite moments as well. Charlie, how is that for you? What's a highlight of the episode for you?
That was a journey for me. Wow, did Jolene's day get bad? Real bad. I have to say, rear-ending Percy was so much fun, and it was really interesting to finally have those worlds collide and start seeing the intersection of the characters. Yeah, that was so much fun. You can find me at Frost and Fire on the Twitters. I am in a whole host of games. The next one coming up is over on Tales from the Grim. We're playing May Black Roses Bloom, the Dragonlance setting. Lindy's in that as well. Lindy's in that as well. Jonathan Fry's DMing. It's a wonderful time. And I will be back here on Encounter Roleplay on Monday when we have our season premiere of Inquisitor. Again in the 2 p.m. Eastern slot. So come by on Monday and check me out on that.
Fantastic. And Lindy, same questions for you.
That was super fun. Favorite moment was the build your own Grand Slam at Denny's. I'm rather partial to that. But also, close second was also getting rear-ended. That was quite funny. And just just everything. I'm having a blast. I can't wait for more. This is super duper fun. You can find me online on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, Instagram. Yeah, I know all the things. Laugh Love Lindy. I play and DM a lot of games. You can find me here next Tuesday for Tentacle Tuesday, where I DM Call of Cthulhu Beyond the Mountains of Madness, a Black Roses Bloom Tonight, and some Spoopy Ravenloft on my channel. So.
Fantastic. And Tom, how is that tonight for you, my friend?
3 hours is really not long enough. It really isn't. But I enjoyed it. It was a hell of a lot of fun. I like the character. I can't wait to develop him more as the episodes go on. My favorite part, it has to be Percival and Jolene, and just the whole interaction with Cassandra. It was brilliant. It was just so funny. I was almost in stitches because it was so funny and so creepy as well. Pruitt, you're too good at doing creepy. I would be worried. But yeah, I'm on Encounter Roleplay, for this. I'll be here next week, and I'm also on RPG Webby tomorrow with Game of Thrones, where I play Sir Alfred, which is a lot of fun. It's 9 p.m. GMT, 4 p.m. Eastern. I got it right the first time. But yeah, that's it. But other than that, I'll see you guys next week.
Fantastic. Pruitt, how was that tonight for you, my friend?
It was awesome. This game is so much fun. I can't wait to see these characters unfold and develop together and crisscross and all that fun stuff. I'm gonna jump on the rear end bandwagon because that's Percy doesn't usually let the woman rear end him, and that's probably why Cassie was jealous. So just get one more in there before we get out of here. I just want to apologize again to everyone. Yeah, this is even when I say half the shit that comes out of my mouth, inside I'm like. So anyway, I am Pruitt, one half of WebDM. You can check our videos out on YouTube. Our video today is on Asimars, so you check that out. Since this is Cult Divinity Lost, and that's a divine race, hey, maybe you'll have fun. Who knows? I will not be on Dread on Friday, and will not be back to playing again until next week at this very time, because WebDM is going to D&D Live for that big event this weekend, so check us out. I believe that we will be on D&D Live 3 at like 1 or so. We'll post the schedule and everything, and we'll have a fun little show there, broadcast on their Twitch, and check us out on Sunday, because Jim and I can't wait for y'all to see us. It's gonna be fun. We will be dressed.
Fantastic. We will be dressed. That's a shame. I was hoping that wouldn't be the case, but all right.
Well, it's D&D. Wizards of the
Coast.
Coast. Yeah, Wizards of the Coast. They were like, "Can we work this blue? Can we go nude?" And they were like, "No." And I'm like, "Well, you gotta pump the numbers, man. Come on, you gotta hit the gas."
Right, yeah, it's not gonna work. Fantastic. Oh boy. Well, let's head over to Sam Pentagram. How's that tonight for you, my friend? And all those other questions.
Totally boring, right?
Hated it.
Snooze.
Next week.
Yeah, hated it. Totally. I love it. One of the highlights was Thomas with the introduction with the stranger standing in the rain. That reminded me quite a bit of the fiction in the second edition of Kult. So kudos for that. Samaraya, Pentagram on Twitter. I'm an illustrator. Artist, visual artist. So I do art for role-playing games, mostly World Darkness. I actually did a piece for Kult ages ago for the French edition, if I remember well. Anyway, you can see my work at arayaart.com, and you can follow me on Instagram and Sam Araya Art.
It's super fucking dope. Definitely check it out, my friends. Fantastic. Well, for my own parts, if you found me here, you can probably find your way back to my Twitter on your own. So good luck with that if you want to follow me there. I'll be back next week for this. Tomorrow is Thursday, which means we're streaming our viewer game. If you want to come along at 5 p.m. Eastern, the Deck of Many Worlds will be on, so come along and join us. There's no Little Busters tonight, but we'll be back next week with that at the usual time at 8 p.m. Eastern. So big thank you guys for sticking with us. Yes, what have I forgotten?
Something amazing starting tomorrow after Deck of Many Worlds
is that show I'm doing and totally remember. Nibiru at 8 p.m. It's the Twitch premiere of Nibiru. So, funny story, this is like a sci-fi game that kickstarted a little while ago, but I actually met the creator, Federico, in the UK at some god-awful convention years ago. But I got chatting to him there about his game like 3 years ago or so, and I kind of remember the conversation with the dude, and I got an email from him, and I was like, oh shit, this is a guy that I met. So Nibiru is a game that I've been sort of keeping an eye on for years and years, and haven't actually gotten a chance to play until tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. So join me for that. It's sci-fi. It's sort of set on this space station out in the middle of nowhere, and horrific shit begins to happen. It's pretty fucking awesome. So if you like stuff like Aliens, and you're going to be in for a good time, sort of like Numenera as well. But I'll stop ranting and leave. So I'll see you guys next time. Until then, try not to roll too many now ones. We want to be there laughing when you do. Good night, everybody. Bye.